What's up?
What's happening?
What's going on? Young Bucks, old goats. We are on the eve of the NFL playoffs. We've got 2 games Saturday, tomorrow, 3 games Sunday, and a Monday night. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the Monday night an annual event, or is that like an off and on thing from your memory?
I I I didn't think it was annual. I thought it was on and off.
Yeah, because I remember other Monday night playoff games, but I don't remember them like consistently. But things have changed over the years.
Yes.
Anyways, the Dolphins are in the playoffs. We've got the coaching carousel is in full swing this week, college and pros. Um, we've got. I went to New York City. I want to talk about that a little bit. I went up there on vacation. The Sopranos is having their 25th year anniversary. I think this week was the 25-year anniversary of it first airing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why I read it and I said, let me give this thing a try. I got HBO Max anyways. Everybody's always recommended it to me. Nobody's ever told me the show's not good. So I always like that mafia stuff. So I said, you know what, I gotta start checking that out. We could talk a little Aaron Rodgers, a little Golden Globes, a little Colin Cowherd, and then we'll have some other news or whatever pops up. But first, do you have anything on your mind before we dive into this coaching thing?
Well, you mentioned the thing about obviously the playoffs are starting and the Monday night and all that. I think they're calling this Super Wild Card Weekend. Is that new too? I don't remember Super Wild Card Weekend.
I do remember hearing that at least last year, maybe the year before, using that.
Maybe when they expanded it to another team, is that when they started to call it that?
I believe this happened when they took away the second seed having a bye. Remember, you used to get 2 byes in each conference, so it's probably coincides with that. But I've heard this at least the last year or so, using that tagline for it.
Got it. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, because I guess before we would have,
or was the wild card, then the divisional. Well, I guess they still reference that though too, right?
Yeah, because there used to be wild card weekend, which I think was just 4 games. Because you would have 6 playoff teams, but 2 would get by, so then those last 4 would play. And then now they add a playoff team and they deduct a bye. Now you have a whole extra game in each conference. And you get Super Wild Card weekend.
Super Wild Card.
Yeah.
With a little peacock in the mix.
Yeah, we're going to stick our peacock in you and make you pay $5.99. We don't have to pay. I don't think we have to pay as Dolphin fans. Or not Dolphin fans, sorry. South Florida people.
Well, the local markets, Kansas City people and Miami people don't have to pay for it. It's on
those
their
people. Yeah,
NBC.
They're not getting the peacock. They don't have to get the peacock.
That's right.
The other people are going to get the peacock.
They're going to get peacocked.
Well, I read somewhere, and I thought it might be true. They're saying this Dolphin-Chief game quite possibly could be the least viewed game in person and on TV. Based on the weather and the peacock situation.
Definitely. So the Dolphin game is the only one being peacocked, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And we can get into that a little bit. I know you told me you read about some of the streaming situation going on, like Peacock, like Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Maybe the NFL's sort of trending towards sort of a streaming subscription kind of situation in the future. They're getting us ready for it.
Yeah, I've read a lot suggesting that, and without us paying a lot of attention, they're sort of slowly sticking it in, if I could say that.
They're sticking in the Peacock.
Yes, because they started with Amazon, trying this game, and who knows where they go from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be if you had cable, you were good. Now you got to have Amazon Prime. Now they're sticking in the peacock all of a sudden. You gotta get peacocked. ESPN Plus shows some games, but those are shown on ESPN as well. So that's like they don't force you to get that one. And who knows what else they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Look who we have here. What
up? What's happening?
What up, dog? We're just talking a little peacock. Hell yeah. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
All right.
We need a fact checker.
Yes. Should we talk a little coaching carousel here?
Sure. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, besides the in-season changes that we had, which were, of course, Frank Third Reich getting fired from the Carolina Panthers, and we have Josh Bum McDaniels getting fired from the Raiders. Were those the only two in-season firings?
I think so, right? Oh no, you had the Charger guy, right?
Okay, the Chargers guy.
Deuce Staley? No, what's his name? Stan Staley? I don't even know.
I'm having a little audio difficulty here.
We can hear you.
Okay, I hear you, but I'm hearing you out of the wrong
orifice.
Yes, if you could say that. I think my audio's getting peacocked here. All right, I think I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so those were the three in-season changes, and then postseason. I don't remember the order of these, but we had shocking. A lot of these were shockingly Pete Carroll,
Mike Vrabel,
shockingly Mike Vrabel,
Coach of the Year just 3 years ago.
That team has dealt with injuries, devastating injuries, almost nonstop the last couple of years. That is a major mistake in my book. But we can get into it more. Belichick, I don't care how much they wrote about it. That shit was shocking to me that they would fire that guy. And who else? Who am I missing?
Ron Rivera.
Are they going to keep hiring Ron Rivera?
That's it for Ron Rivera.
That's probably it for him, right?
Yeah.
I kind of did like him at one time. Do you see is that all of them?
No, Arthur Smith.
Okay. Falcons, which they're talking about Belichick to that a lot.
Yes. And I can't believe Belichick would go where there isn't a quarterback, because that lesson he's had to have learned the hard way now.
Okay, now you can hear me.
Now, this is the first words we've heard you utter.
I've been talking.
Oh my God, I thought you were just being very quiet.
I said the Steelers guy. Were you guys just talking head coaches only?
So far, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was talking about Matt Canada.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was in-season coordinator.
In-season, yeah.
And the Buffalo Bill guy, Ken Dorsey.
Yes.
And then I saw the Jaguars fired like 10 coaches.
Doug Peterson said, "This is everybody's fucking fault, but not fucking
mine." Yeah.
Fire all these motherfuckers. Just not my fault. Yeah, that one's weird. I don't know what other coordinators went along the way.
And I could tell you that I did not make the mistake of calling you up to do an episode on Bill Belichick finally getting it, because I am pretty sure that guy's going to coach again.
100%. But we have to give him a shout out for tying the all-time loss record for a coach. So
yeah, shout out.
Here's to you, Bill.
We love him.
How do you guys think that went with Saban and Belichick? Did they talk about it, or between them?
You know, it's very interesting that those guys dominated and they kind of went one day after the other. Actually, Pete Carroll very connected to kind of Carroll took the Jets job, or sorry, is he the one who took the Jets job when Belichick Yeah, he's the one who took the
Yeah.
Jets job when Belichick quit.
Yes.
Played in a Super Bowl against each other, and quite possibly the worst call in Super Bowl history that Pete Carroll made. So kind of connected Saban and Belichick, kind of like buddies. I don't know. I
Oh
don't know.
no, Saban is from the Belichick tree. They remember that they coached in Cleveland together.
Saban was one of his coordinators.
I think he was the defensive coordinator or the defensive backs coach or something like that.
Okay, so yes, all those guys connected in some way. Do you see any other pattern with a lot of these coaches in the NFL?
Pattern.
Like, do you see any similarities between these coaches in some cases? Maybe not all, but coaching style.
Um, that's nothing pops up like immediately. When you pose the question, you got me thinking, but nothing pops up.
All right, but if I tell you Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, to a certain extent, maybe Vrabel, Pete Carroll doesn't.
Yeah, I think what the dictatorial like
Old school
yeah.
kind of
Yes.
like not really the way, not the Mike McDaniel way,
No.
not
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. I almost would consider him though kind of like a moderate in that sense, because he's older, but he's also not, he's not quite the disciplinarian, right, that like a Belichick is. Not a Mike McDaniel buddy with everybody, but he's like, he has I think he has a very good balance to that thing.
Right. And that's what that Colin Cowherd thing that I told you about. He talks about the two differences between Saban and Belichick, and the thing that he says is the big difference between them is that Saban was actually open to change and was not really like a guy set in his ways, and that he came into Alabama as a defensive minded coach, and over time he became a like, you know, you could almost say Alabama, you could argue the quality, but you could say that Alabama became an offensive school. It produced like tremendous wide receivers, quarterbacks that maybe didn't do great in the NFL, but they were great college coaches. I think you've said that before, about the Alabama quarterbacks, right?
There's a whole episode on it, I think.
Yes.
Well, a lot of them were, you know, up for Heisman consideration and won national championships, but failures in the NFL.
Yes, but he was producing offensive talent when his strength was, you know, defense. And what Hurd was saying is that Nick Saban actually was more open-minded and not so dictatorial. I mean, he was a hard ass, but he was open to change, and it allowed him to like do better and change over time. And he says that Belichick was the opposite. He started to believe the whole Belichick, you know, everything he says is right and no one could add anything to the conversation. He doubled down in thinking that Brady wasn't really as important and that he could, you know, continue to do well. He sucked ass in the drafts big time. His personnel decisions were horrific. And basically he said, you know, he was trying to say that Belichick really got caught up in his own persona to the point where at the end he got fired because he wasn't open to change. Yet Nick Saban chose his way out, was able to leave on his own terms because he was always amenable to change.
Yes, and another thing to add on that is I think, and I'm not the big college guy or Alabama guy, but from some of the names that come to mind, Nick Saban seemed to be more willing to bring in top-notch coordinators from outside and other people from outside that weren't just his sort of minions.
Absolutely.
The Belichick people were always underlings to him. They would leave, come back. He would bring them up, but he never really would bring in Sean McVay from wherever, or bring in that Vic Fangio or something like that.
Exactly. And Belichick actually was doubled down on the opposite of that. And he said that that's one of the things that put the nail in the coffin. When he brought back Matt Patricia, who was a defensive guy, to coach the offense, just because it was his guy, that was like another nail in the coffin. And the fact that the team kept getting slower and less dynamic, and they wouldn't bring in quality like speed, especially around wide receiver. He makes mention that, look, the NFL has been changing into an offense-based speed, wide receivers, offensive talent, and Belichick has never kind of turned the corner on that, while Saban did. And he was making those comparisons that, in essence, Bill Belichick kind of dug his own grave by just believing the Bill Belichick way was the only way.
Yep. I draft the players. I coach the players. I cut the players. I bring the coordinators. I tell which coordinator to do what. I'll make you the coordinator, but you won't call the plays. I'll call the plays myself. Shit like that. Just too totalitarian.
Right. And
that's badass when you're winning.
Right. And as long as you do the Patriot way, which is code for the Belichick way, we'll be successful.
Yes. And your press conferences are super cool when you're like, and you're fucking winning Super Bowls. But when you're sucking ass at 3 of 14 and you have the same attitude, you just look like a fucking idiot now.
Look like a fucking idiot. That's right.
Has anybody in Belichick's coaching tree ever been successful in the NFL?
Well, one of the guys that got fired, like Vrabel, right?
But he's not a Belichick disciple. He's a Belichick player. But he never coached under Belichick, so I don't even count him really.
I got his tree here.
That's the closest thing, though, right?
But it's not even really a disciple. It's not a guy that coached under him.
Not coach, but at least it's the closest thing, right?
It would be like saying Brady, though, no?
But Brady's never coached.
Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah. I have.
Usually,
when you talk about somebody's tree, it's guys that came up
coaching coordinators. They were coordinators and then became coaches and were successful.
I think Brian Flores may be one of the most successful ones, believe it or not.
Or that guy, I guess that guy
24 and 25 overall.
Was Bill. What was his name? Bill O'Reilly.
O'Brien.
O'Reilly is fuck it. We'll do it live, right? That's that guy.
Yeah, that's that guy. Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
He had some success. He had the ass.
He had a pussy on his.
He's 52-48. He's positive.
Right. He had some success at the Texans initially until they started to trade away all their players.
And that guy kind of bounces around from the Texans to the Patriots to Alabama. Like he's just kind of doing that shit around the block.
Al Grinch
Grove.
Al Grinch. That's way back, bro. Romeo Crennel was terrible, dude. Terrible.
Eric Mangini.
He was always a good coordinator, but terrible coach.
Another one got fired this year. Josh McDaniels, another one. That guy will never get a head coaching job again, right?
He may come back as a coordinator, but he won't go back to the Patriots because Bill isn't there because he likes to do that. But
that practice may be over. Did they give the job to Gerard Mayo?
I heard that they did.
I think it's official, yeah.
Yeah. Which tells you that they had this all, this isn't a knee-jerk reaction. This is all planned.
Well, yeah, there was this writer for the Patriots who had been saying this like a month or two back that it was already the decision had been made. And then in the last few days before they announced it, he kept doubling down. Look, I know it hasn't happened, but it's still going to happen. It probably takes a few days to untangle all these things. So I guess the succession plan was in place. Did they even interview the minorities to satisfy the Rooney Rule and all that shit?
Well, because Mayo is black. I guess that covers it.
Oh, I guess you don't like. Hey, we already got one. We don't need
Yeah.
to.
What do you mean? I'm hiring one. Like I don't need to interview.
Shouldn't they have interviewed a white guy just to?
Wait,
No.
can you
No,
hear him?
what about Joe Judge?
Uh-oh. I can't hear
Nope.
you guys.
Yeah, we hear. I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
everybody.
Now.
Joe Judge was Giants, and he wasn't that great.
We got
Please
Matt
stand by.
Patricia,
Terrible. Lions, terrible.
Romeo Crennel,
One of the worst.
3263.
Yeah. There's some we're forgetting. There's a few more.
Eric Mangini.
He was okay for a little while with the Jets. Was he the one that took him? I don't know if the bum's still listening. If he was the one that took them to the AFC championships, and I think they were in consecutive years. The man genius.
Brian Daboll.
Yeah, the ball. He's still there in the Giants.
Yeah. He's
I
probably
guess-
one of the more successful ones, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if successful.
I mean, that's with a grain of salt. Like, there's probably
Yeah.
only one that has a winning record. And if you measure them all together, the record's really bad. Probably like not even 40% winning percentage if you combine all of them together.
I think it's only one that's a winning percentage. It must have been set up, dude, because I think they hired Mayo like 2 days later.
All right, I can hear you guys again.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were going to hire Vrabel. I thought, wow, this is what a great opportunity. What perfect timing here. But I guess if they already had that all set up, they can't. I don't know.
Patriots hire first black coach.
What happens to a little Belichick?
Little Belichick.
What happened to his son?
Oh, that's another thing. Kurt said that he started to hire like his family.
Yeah.
I only knew about the guy with the licking lips and the strange, like gestures, but maybe there's other people in there that are.
There's another son in there.
Is that okay? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure there is another son in there. So
Another Mayo son or Belichick son?
No, Belichick's son was like the defensive coordinator, right? Basically,
or the defensive backs or something.
He's the outside linebackers coach.
Oh, okay.
And is there a brother of his that's also on the staff? Maybe strength and conditioning or something? I don't know.
There's only a sister.
I thought that there was another brother.
They made it seem like there was another family member. Maybe it wasn't directly. Maybe like I don't know. Did you guys hear this?
Just more consolidating of his power, right? By putting family, like it was like the fucking mafia almost.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what potentially led to Mike Vrabel's firing? Aside from the last 2 years that he's lost.
Not the speech that he gave in the Patriots Stadium.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly, I read an article that the Tennessee brass was super offended. So Mike Vrabel on the Tennessee Titans bye went to the Patriots-Bills game to be inducted into their Hall of Fame. And he gave a speech where he told the fans, hey, this is a great organization. This is a great coach, a great owner. You guys don't know how good you have it. And it was like, here's a guy that's, a head coach of another team, right?
Yeah, he said it's really special and it's not
Yes.
like that everywhere. So appreciate it.
Yes. So supposedly that really irked the person who owns the Titans now is a woman. Is it Amy something Adams?
Amy Strunk.
Strunk Adams or
Adams Strunk.
Yes.
Amy Schumer.
And basically that really ticked them off, supposedly.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it right here.
But
She was unhappy about Vrabel's visit to New England in October.
okay, that could make sense. But the commentary, you could also say, well, this guy's been around the block. He's talked to a lot of other coaches. He's talked to other players. Maybe he wasn't necessarily referring as a dig to his own organization. Maybe if he had to think it over, he wouldn't have said it. But I would be more upset with. I could understand more being upset with him going during your season to an opposing team's. Maybe you say, "Hey guys, I really appreciate that, but that I can't do that right now. I'm preparing or whatever." I could see that. The commentary depends how sensitive you are, and maybe you're taking that the wrong way.
Yeah. When would you do that though? If you're a head coach, I mean, when would you be able to go and be inducted in preseason?
That would be
It's
that. Yeah.
That's still the season. I don't know if there's a right time unless it's after you retire from, coaching.
Yeah, I don't know what the protocol is for that. I don't know how other coaches that were recently retired have done it.
It says he was considered. It says he was considered, so maybe he thought if he won, he would get hired.
Well, he was still the active coach of the Titans at the time.
Yeah, but that was last season. Yeah?
I don't know. But either way, he was like actively coaching the Titans. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard it was this season during their bye.
Right. Maybe they timed it that way.
In October.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Pete Carroll was surprising, but also that seemed to be like a power struggle. And he did a recent podcast or his own show or whatever, and he talked a little bit about like that non-football people were responsible for him being out, and that he was always kind of arguing with, this part I didn't really see his side of it. He said, I was arguing against people who are taking the opinions of fans and media, and I was having to fight against that versus what really was going on. But I got to tell you, dude, a lot of time fans, not every fan, there's a lot of fans and there's a lot of media. We've been watching this too long. It doesn't take rocket science to realize what's wrong with teams a lot of times. And most of the time, the media is right. Most of the time when they're wrong is when they jump on the hype train and they, push. That's I would say they're more wrong saying what's right with teams and how great teams are sometimes than they're usually not wrong saying what's wrong with teams, because that becomes obvious to everybody.
And the other thing is that a lot of that media, not all of it, but a good percentage of it are ex-players and coaches. So it's not like all bums who've never played the game,
Yes, there's media and there's media. Stephen A. I don't give a shit what Stephen A. says almost about anything. I don't really put a lot of who are some other ones that I really don't give a rat's ass what they say.
Skip Bayless, this guy even.
I would say Shannon Sharp is kind of in the same boat as him.
At least he played though. I mean,
he played, but he seems more like a fan of, he's gonna in basketball. It's always LeBron James with him, no matter what, like they're kind of caricatures, those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I respect more, some of those coaches, former GMs, guys who were like really in the business and did it, especially if they were successful. Like even some GMs, when I hear Tannenbaum talk, I'm like, this you fucking sucked, dude. Why am I going to pay attention to any idea you have? You couldn't do it.
How that guy has a job, like commenting when he never was successful anywhere is just beyond me.
So you got to know who, but like there's certain guys like, I heard some guy the other day for the first time. I don't even know who he was. Crowder and Hawkman had him on, and he was can't remember his name, dude. I guess he comes on the show every once in a while. And he was kind of spot on with his Dolphin analysis. One of Howie Long's kids, I think I might have sent the video to you guys.
Chris Long?
Yeah, I think it was Chris. He nailed it on a lot of the Dolphins' problems, like, that this team is not really that explosive. They don't really average that much points when they play winning teams. That they're kind of the same shit that this is just pretty much an extension of last year. he didn't say this, but I'm saying this, minus Tua getting injured. It's pretty much very, very similar, the situation from last year to this year.
Similar.
Yeah, similar. Tua has more yards, but he has more picks. His passer rating's down. He's played more games. The record is what? Similar? I don't remember. Is the record the same?
Weren't they 9-8 last
Yeah,
year?
yeah. I don't think
Okay.
we didn't get double digits.
So we got a couple more wins. All right.
Baby steps.
Yeah, the problem with the baby steps is that we've gone like all in on this team right now, and they're gonna have to pay some people. They're gonna have to extend. They're gonna have to, make some decisions on some guys. Their draft capital is lower, so the window's not. They might have next year in that window, and it's just going to be part 3 of this shit. It's going to be the part 3 of what we got the last 2 years, hoping that
Everybody stays healthy and everything clicks.
But dude, you see the list of injuries we had? Most of the injuries, the majority on the defensive side, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand Waddle missed this one game and he's been banged up, and Mostert, that's 2 on the offense. But they're not near, you had Devon A-Chain who ran really well the way that they were running. So it wasn't like, oh my God, we had to sign a guy off the street. That's a guy you drafted, with a pretty good draft pick, and he's been playing well. I guess the bigger failure was not having, I don't want to say not having enough talent, not using enough of the talent you had during the year. So there was some continuity with some of those backup receivers, and they were still contributing. Like Sherfield last year was serviceable and could step up when needed. We didn't really have that this year. It was Tyreek, Waddle, and that's
it. I think it speaks to another thing, right? And I think you touched on it about taking care of business, right? That's part of the equation. If you don't lose the Tennessee game, you're probably in a position that you could rest your players and not have them in the fourth quarter of a blowout where they blow out their ass and you lose them the rest of the season, right?
They definitely would have been playing that Bills game.
Right.
Yeah. Which we lost a lot of guys in that game.
We did. So, I mean, some of that, and some of that has to do with McDaniels, and I think that's why some reports have come out that he's on the hot seat if he doesn't win, because that's
I'm not
more
buying
of a Chris,
that, man.
Well, that's also a Chris Greer thing, right? If you were Chris Greer, that's exactly what I would do. That's kind of like the Doug Peterson thing.
It's the same shit. It's everybody's fault.
Exactly.
But not mine.
There's a component of that. But you know what? The other side of that coin is what we've said all along. We don't see any kind of halftime adjustments. He seems to get extra schooled when he's playing decent coaching. And
which shows his inexperience and his, being a young first-time coach.
And the fact, some of the stories around why they're so injured and, whether it's their practice regimen or, how they rest players or how they substitute players, those are a lot of things relating to coaching and the coaching staff.
There has to be something. There has to be something going on. Wouldn't you say there's something to it, or it's just bad luck?
I mean, without a smoking gun, I guess you can only rely on it being terrible luck. But I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that Chris Greer is sitting there with the old man and telling him, well, look, all this is incremental. Last year, we made the playoffs and we lost in the first round. We were 9-8. This year, we won 11 games. And at the cusp of really exploding, we got a lot of injuries. So we're going in the right direction. We just have to stick with it. I could see that.
Trying to save his ass.
Yes.
Yeah, that Gerard Mayo thing is 100%. confirmed. They're just showing here Raiders interim head coach Antonio Pierce will interview with Titans this week for head coach vacancy. I can't believe that the Raiders are going to fuck this up again, because it seems like for the second year in a row. Is this the second year in a row? Or no, Basasio was 2 years ago, I guess. They're going to
I
let
thought was he last year? No.
Was this Josh
Yeah,
McDaniels first? No, I think McDaniels coached all last year there.
Did he? Okay.
By the way, I'm watching a replay of the Dolphins Chiefs from earlier in the season that they're showing here. Yeah, so, they may be on the cusp of letting a pretty damn good popular coach, at least amongst the players and the fan base, I believe, walk away. So I don't know what they have up their sleeve, but
well,
getting
that
sorry,
would I'm sorry, that would only be acceptable if you landed a Jim Harbaugh, a Bill Belichick.
Hey, that's right where I was going, dude. I wanted to give props to Michigan for winning the national championship, 15-0. Jim Harbaugh, yes, they're probably cheaters, but you know what's funny about that? They did it in an old school way. I kind of like that, dude. Defense, pounding the ball, old school kind of style that's not really prevalent today in college football. They're one of the few teams that play in that fashion that they played in. So I thought that was kind of cool, cheating aside, right? That a team like that was able to win the college football championship. They're showing the fourth quarter here with 14 minutes. Kansas City up 21-14. This is from earlier in the season.
So we also didn't play Aaron Rodgers.
No, we didn't.
That could have been different.
I think it would have.
Yeah, I don't think we would have beat them twice with Aaron Rodgers.
We may have not beat them at all.
At all.
Yes,
especially with all the defensive issues.
Yeah, but what I was getting at earlier is with all those injuries, the majority of which on the defensive side, against the Bills, the defense played a really good game. They had 3 turnovers. They had a goal line stuff at the end of the half where they didn't get any points. They gave the ball back late in the game to the Dolphins multiple times with a chance for us to tie or tie and go for 2, extend that game, tie that game, and the failure was on the offensive and special teams side of the ball, not the defense.
The defensive injuries had nothing to do with Tua throwing that interception at the end of the game while potentially going for a game tying score, right?
And dude, I'm a member of like some Facebook groups for the Dolphins, and there's always this battle with the Tuanons, or this new term that I learned recently, Tuaphiles, versus people like me that are not sold on him. Dude, the last play that he threw the interception, that thing has been dissected like more than the Zapruder film on these pages, and everybody's putting it on Chase Claypool, ran the wrong route, he went too far back. But that comes back to your quarterbacking. If the guy's running the wrong route, you probably see that. You don't throw it to him. He locked in on that guy from the snap. He's looking at him the whole way, and he still throws because he throws to a spot most of the time. They spot thrower, which I guess I don't know what that means, that you can't look at where the receiver's going and make an adjustment. You're throwing to a spot, and the guy has to get there no matter what. That was a terrible pick. Nobody's analyzing the play before where he almost threw a pick too. The guy dropped it though.
Yeah, he did. And also, I think if you look back at the Dallas game, because some of those nuts will come up and say, well, we won Dallas, but that was a heavy running series. He barely threw anything in that. I mean,
dude,
that series was mostly running the ball.
And Jason Sanders with 5 field goals, 3 of them 50-yarders. You needed a career performance from a shaky kicker here, especially on big kicks. Like Jason Sanders won that game for me. Yeah, the Tua files will say, "Oh, Tua can't win big games." Well, he beat the Chargers. Well, remember the Ravens last year? Well, the Cardinals in his rookie season. Well, the Cowboys. To me, the Cowboys is the only game there that kind of yes, coming into the season, I thought that Charger game was a big year, but the way the season played out, I don't think that game was as big as what we thought it was going to be. I'll admit it. I thought that was going to be a big game that we would lose. The
Well,
Cowboys
but still,
game does qualify.
I will say that even okay, now we say that about the Charger game because we saw what their season ended up to, but that it doesn't change the fact that we believe that Herbert is a better quarterback than Tua, and just on that, he probably should have beat him, right?
Yeah. But the majority of the times, the Bills his first year to get to the playoffs that he lost. The Titans his second year that could have got us into the playoffs and lost. Last year, San Francisco, San Diego, Buffalo. Then he didn't play New England. Green Bay, where he disintegrated. Then the other games that he missed, and then this year, Baltimore, Tennessee, Baltimore, Buffalo. I mean, overwhelmingly, he does not live up to the big game, big moment, which is what you want from your. What was
Up
he?
to now,
Seventh overall, fifth overall. I don't remember. What was he?
Fifth, I think.
is he fifth? Yeah, fifth. Bottom line is,
You don't want a game manager out of that. You cannot afford to get a game manager out of that pick.
No. Bottom
You're
line
better
is,
off with a lot of veterans, dude. Look at Joe Flacco.
he hasn't had a game where it's been him willing this team to a victory, and more importantly, a critical victory when you need it. That has not happened in his career.
And it's not been because of lack of opportunity. He's had a bunch of chances to say, you know what? Jump on my back. I'm going to take
Guess
you.
what? And guess what? He's got that opportunity yet again tomorrow. I got it that it's gotten harder and the stakes are higher, but still, if he wins tomorrow because he throws a touchdown in the fourth quarter and we beat those people in the snow, you can almost erase all of this.
I won't,
erase.
but those two
No,
files.
You won't.
No,
I mean, I could deal with it. I
will take it. Don't get me wrong.
I will say, okay, all right, I'll be quiet for the next game. That's about as far as I'll go. But he could. It's in his hands yet again tomorrow.
Tank, could you check the weather report for Kansas City tomorrow?
I saw minus 20.
I saw minus 30, or at least it feels like minus 30 is what they were saying, which is just insane. They're saying that's just dangerous.
Look, if you get Mostert back tomorrow and maybe Waddle or one of them, and okay, the defense is shot. Okay, well then he doesn't play. Tua doesn't play defense. It should not prevent him from scoring touchdowns and moving the football and doing, something on the offensive side, right?
I got it 7 hours ago. They said it'll be -1 with a -23 wind chill.
Jesus.
Listen, Kansas City is not looking like what it's been. A lot of people just say that's not a good football team. That Mahomes has just willed them to whatever they are. Would you be shocked if the Dolphins win tomorrow?
I got a stat right here. It says
I wouldn't be shocked if they win.
Dolphins lost their last 10 games under 40 degrees at kickoff.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's a great stat.
Yeah. We heard that stat every time we have to go play in Buffalo, and that hasn't
Hey, but let's take a step back. Let's pretend we were at full strength. We had no injuries. The weather was still the same. What would we be saying about this game? Almost the same thing or something different? We have a chance, but it's fucking cold. I mean, how does the narrative change? if we didn't have all these injuries going into this game? What would you say it would be?
It's fucking cold.
That's it? That would be the focus? We
And
don't have a
you're-
chance because it's cold?
Well, you're playing Patrick Mahomes, and a lot of times these playoff games come down to your quarterback versus my quarterback. Who's going to have it last? Who's going to do it last?
That's what I was getting to,
Mhm.
right? And I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to again, right? It's who's got the better quarterback, right? Because at this point, supposedly in the playoffs, both teams are as good as they're going to be. And the difference is, the head coach and the quarterback.
Listen to some of these. Sorry,
And
go
I
ahead.
rather have Andy Reid and Mahomes than McDaniels and Tua.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a hater. So listen to some of these rules the Chiefs announced, temporary changes to their game day policies to help keep fans warm during Saturday's game. You could bring a blanket. It must be draped over your shoulder going through security. Cannot have zippers or compartments. Cardboard to stand on. Cannot be larger than 3 to 5 feet. This is to not stand on the freezing concrete. Heated clothing.
Wow.
Batteries must be disconnected during security screening. One unopened factory sealed water bottle, which will be ice, right? Basically, when you walk in, it's gonna be they're basically just allowing you to bring in fucking. That could be a projectile, dude. That could be fucking. They should let you bring coffee, not fucking
Right,
water.
like hot chocolate and coffee.
Yeah, each ticket is allowed one bottle of bourbon per ticket.
Make a hot toddy.
Yeah. In addition, the team will also have warming stations inside and outside Arrowhead Stadium. We suggest layers, no skin showing. Cover up all your skin. Wear multiple pairs of gloves, multiple pairs of socks. Dude, I'll talk about my little trip to New York later, but it was like it got as low as 30. Dude, and we had layers, of clothing, and it was pretty fucking rough for us, coming from down here. I cannot imagine like another 50 degrees less than that. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I couldn't imagine that. That's just insane.
It's
And
also
there's been no
Tyreek's
talk of
first
moving
game
it.
back.
Yeah, revenge game. Well, and one of the guys we just signed. How many old guys did we sign this week? 2 or 3?
Like,
Um,
3, I think. At least.
We signed Houston, Irving.
And who's the other one? There's one more old guy. Yeah, I didn't think Melvin Ingram played that poorly last game.
No.
Bruce Irving and Malik Reed.
Okay, that's the other guy. The worst part
What's
of
the other guy?
Houston, Bruce Irving, and Malik Reed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Melvin Ingram, the worst part is that he had to go in coverage when Van Ginkel went out, and that's something he probably hasn't done since he was in fucking college, or who knows. And he looked like he had been eating really good while he wasn't playing. He looked almost like a defensive fucking tackle out there.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate that he had to go into coverage. But I don't know. Like, to me, if I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think the Dolphins are going to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if they won. And that would not, in my eyes, I'd be happy that we got a playoff win after 23 years or whatever it's been. But it wouldn't absolve for me the opportunity that we squandered to have home playoff games, at least a couple rounds, right? We would have got with the second seed. We wouldn't have had to face off against Baltimore until they get to the championship game, if that would have happened, which if they get knocked off, then we get 3 home games, So there's just because of that Titans game, we squandered that opportunity that we could have used so much based on our cold weather and our home record.
This team absolutely needs probably more than any team.
Right, because if you're a cold weather road warrior kind of team, hey, whatever, dude. We play in the cold. We go on the road.
Buffalo can play in Kansas City. Buffalo can play in Baltimore. Baltimore can play in the Bills. It doesn't matter.
They could play anywhere.
Yeah, but
Maybe they can't play in Miami.
We absolutely, yeah. None of those teams could play in Miami in September, but they can play in Miami in January. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no team that needs the home field advantage more than we do, and we still squandered it when we played the Bills and the Titans.
Yeah, so I'm saying even if we win, like that wouldn't absolve that opportunity, because if we win, I don't know what the path is. We would go face
Baltimore.
I guess
No.
unless there was another upset, we would. Unless who's number 7? Number 7 is the
Bills.
No. The Bills are number 2.
Oh, that's right. You know,
the Steelers would have to beat them.
I cannot get over the fact mentally.
The Bills were dead.
That we went from 2 to
3 games. 3 games up
to 7.
Where are we now? We're the 6th seed, but we had a 3-game lead on them. They had to rip off 6 wins in a row to make that up,
including directly against us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after they had beat us, we still had a 3-game lead on them. They were losing to the Jaguars, I think. They were losing to like everybody, dude. And we squandered a 3-game lead. Those people were 6-6, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they ripped off, maybe not 6-6, maybe were they 5-6? I don't remember.
We're 6-5.
Maybe they were 6-5, yeah. And then they ripped off 6 in a row.
It's the Steelers that are 7.
Yeah. So if the Steelers were to pull the upset, which there was some talk that maybe they switched that game to Cleveland, then they would go face the Ravens. But short of that happening, if we win, we would go face the Ravens. And then the Bills would face the winner of what's the other game? The
Browns-Texans.
Browns-Texans, which are 4-5, if I'm not mistaken. Or yes. 3 and 4-5.
4-5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to pull up the schedule, Tank? We can. Is that it for coaching? The only one filled so far is the Patriots one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and are you convinced that Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick will coach again?
Bill Belichick, I'm convinced he'll coach again. Carroll, from at least his comments, he said he'd leave the door open, but he's not sure, and he didn't even know what his capacity would be in that advisor role. That advisor role seems like, hey, we're not going to fire you, but we'll say you're getting this advisor role, save some face, you'll be here a year, blah, blah, blah.
Bullshit.
No, you want this one's fine, or do you want one with like the times?
That's good enough. Or I guess if there's one with spreads, we could look at that.
Okay.
See what Vegas is doing on these. Yeah, I don't know if Harbaugh's going to leave Michigan though. He may try to become the new fucking Saban. I don't know.
And would you say that that Vrabel and Belichick, excluding Harbaugh, right, are the hottest two?
How could they not be, bro? Especially, let's see, what are the vacancies? Atlanta,
Chargers,
Panthers, Raiders,
Commanders,
Seahawks. Okay, so
and you said Titans?
Titans. I think I missed the Titans. So there was 8 openings then before the Patriot one. So if you're one of those poor, and when I say poor, I don't mean money, but losing franchises, do you don't think the Commanders would kill for like, yes, we want a dictator, hard-nosed guy who's Bill Belichick? The Falcons, yes, give me Bill Belichick. The Chargers, Give me Bill Belichick. Or we can't get Bill. Yes, give me Vrabel. Are any of those teams in the Titans division that I mentioned? Any of these openings?
No.
Okay.
The Titans are the AFC South, right?
Yeah, the shit division. Which we have the
Yeah.
Texans. And is the Jags the other one there?
Jags, Texans, Colts.
Okay.
All right,
Colts are good.
I got one now.
All right. Finally, on that, just to ask you guys real quick.
And I don't know who number 3 would be, Bum, after those two guys. Who would like the third choice be?
Real quick, which job do you guys think is the best to take?
The best as far as being able to win right away?
How do you call the best? The complete thing.
Okay.
Fastest to win, best roster.
Give me the best quarterback, and I think is that Herbert?
Yes.
In this whole scenario, the Patriots looks like one of the bigger messes to unravel there of any of these ones. But I would say the Chargers and I don't know. Tennessee's like cleaning house too, so I don't know.
I would say Chargers, Seahawks, in that order. Then the rest, whatever.
The Panthers looks like one of the worst ones, probably.
Yeah, no, you can't go to the fucking Panthers.
Even though they do have a young quarterback. I mean, he may be another Tua, but they do have a young quarterback. Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback.
But I mean, the only good thing about Bryce Young is, are you saying Young because his last name is Young and his age is young? But like, there's nothing else really good about him.
Well, but I mean, they spent a high draft pick last year on him. So
I saw somebody in the comments say that the Bears should trade Fields to Atlanta for their second round or second draft, number 2 pick. Sorry. That's not a bad idea actually, because Atlanta needs the QB, and I don't think they want Fields anymore in Chicago.
That's a good point, Tank. Because let me tell you, Atlanta outside of the quarterback has some. They have Kyle Pitts,
yes,
Bijan Robinson, and Drake London. That's a pretty damn good core, but you're missing the most important piece, though.
Yeah,
I thought that team was going to be better. There's been talk because they have their own first round pick. They have, is it the Panthers first round pick as well?
The
Bears?
So. Yeah.
So I think they have 2 like top 5 maybe picks, definitely top 10. So with a chance to draft one of these young quarterbacks in this upcoming draft, there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft this year.
They have 9 picks in 2024 right now. The Bears.
How many
Atlanta or Chicago?
Chicago. They have the number 1 and the number 9.
Jesus.
And their second pick is they have an early second round pick probably. Like, what's their other pick after?
Let me look.
It's probably an early second round. Sorry, I thought you had it right there. Don't worry about it. So yeah, the Bears have some options. No, I'm not ready to say Justin Fields is a bust.
No, not at all.
That guy has some real skills that need to be still further developed and honed. But
that might be that. I thought that was a good trade right there.
And I know I'm gonna sound crazy, but I wouldn't give up on Sam Howell yet, dude. That guy was leading the NFL, and
you sound a little crazy.
And passing. I mean, he's not like a veteran that he's a young player still.
Dude, the more I look around the league, and the more I say, damn it, man, we didn't try hard enough to get another quarterback. There's teams winning with so much less invested in that position, money-wise, pick-wise. In some cases,
but that's a rarity, though. That you don't always see that. It's usually the opposite.
But let's see. You got Joe Flacco's playing pretty good. They picked him up off the couch.
Yeah,
You,
but
you just mentioned Sam Howell. They didn't draft that guy highly, right? Was he a free agent?
no, that was a draft. That was a
What pick
draft
was he?
pick, right?
Let me see.
I don't think it was a high pick.
Pickett was number 20, and they're
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's been
Yeah,
kind
with
of
like their third string quarterback.
yeah, it's been almost in spite of Pickett instead of because
Exactly.
of Pickett.
Howell was 144.
So not a high pick. That's a fifth
No,
round.
but
Much less invested than we have in Tua.
Brock Purdy.
Pick wise and money wise. Brock Purdy, I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Literally.
I think those are outliers, and that's not always the case.
But we just mentioned 3. I'm sure there's more if we think about it.
That's a rarity.
The fucking Steelers are doing it with Mason Rudolph right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go that route.
I'm not saying bet on it. I'm just saying, why aren't we doing more to try? What the fuck was the purpose of Mike White?
I already told you.
To not play against him when he's against the Jets.
I rather have gotten, like I said, garden mildew than that guy.
But you just put another example that the Colts almost went to the playoffs with that guy, right?
I understand what you're saying.
Baker Mayfield, dude, another one.
I understand what you're saying, but that's not a formula, a reliable formula.
No, but ours has been even less reliable, and we had to put more money and more resources and build it up around this guy, and it's still not really paying dividends.
What about Drew Lock?
I'm pretty sure that most
he's going to be a free agent.
Tell you, I know this. Most people would tell you they rather have Tua than any of those guys that you mentioned. Maybe not you.
He just no, definitely not me. He just mentioned another team, the Seahawks. They were doing it mostly with Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, yeah.
Joshua Dobbs.
No.
All right, sorry. You said
they almost did it. I did, but yeah, he's a scrappy guy. Who are the other playoff teams? Obviously, Mahomes is a stud. Allen's a stud.
Dak Prescott was a 135.
He's NFC Tua.
I rather have.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
They're very similar to me.
Not
in their skill set. Not in their skill set.
Right. In a game-winning reliability perspective.
In a results.
Clutch. In the clutch factor.
Yeah, they got a broken clutch, is what I'm trying to say.
They have no clutch.
Yeah, it's not even stick shift. They're not even fucking. They don't have a.
There's
clutch.
A hole on the foot.
Yeah, automatic, and it's usually like an automatic pick at the end of the game. Is what I'm trying to say.
What about Jordan Love, 26?
Hey, Jordan Love, dude, he didn't get enough love. He's been quietly sort of silencing some of his critics. Us included, because we were saying that guy was a bum earlier in the year.
I never said that guy was a bum night yet, and I'm not going to say that just because he made the playoffs that stamp him. He's a legend.
No.
He's certainly ahead of the curve from his development. This is the first time he starts, and they're in the playoffs.
He's ahead of the curve on these 2 Hall of Fame predecessors, which is Rodgers and Favre. They weren't able to get to the playoffs in their first year like him. So
yep,
you have to give credit where it's due. Yeah, I'm not ready to put him in the Hall of Fame either. I'm just saying we were kind of trending towards like, oh my God, that looked like a bad pick. You know what I mean? That looked like this guy. He started off pretty shaky.
The GM's ass was itching on that one this year at one point.
Yeah. Our GM's ass has he's got a fucking force field back there or something. He's protecting that so well. He's always comes out unscathed somehow.
Yes.
I think that's it for playoff QBs. Then the rest is like Matt Stafford, Jared Goff.
Oh, that's another kind of interesting game. All right, let's go into these games a little bit and talk about it. So, first game is tomorrow, 4:30. It looks like there. My eyesight's really bad.
Yeah, 4:30.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is Cleveland hosting Stroud and the Texans, and it's a 2-point spread on this. It should be a fun game, I think. These should all be fun games, really. I'm gonna roll with Cleveland here, dude. I'm liking their fucking story. Obviously, their defense is phenomenal. I like the Joe Flacco story. I'm gonna go with them. But the other side would be cool. A fucking rookie that just came in and brought this franchise out of nowhere. You know, anybody wins here, I think it's a great story. Whoever wins.
Yeah. I'm kind of I'm going to break my rule of, when it's unsure, when it's close, you look at the quarterbacks. But man, I like CJ so far, and I think that team's young and it's got some explosiveness to it. So I'll lean towards the Texans.
I got the Browns. This is also Deshaun Watson revenge game.
From the bench?
But yeah, from the bench.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson's going to be watching this game from his former team and his current team, and he's not responsible.
Well, he's getting massaged
from any of this, for any of this. Even though he did go 5-1, so you could say he helped the Browns get to this position, if we're being honest.
Yeah, he contributed.
Yeah. So, and the weather is not supposed to be terrible, I assume, because they're thinking of moving potentially the Bills game here. So I'm assuming maybe it's just standard cold weather here, but not like all that fucking lake effect bullshit.
But this game's in Houston, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Take that back.
Why? What's the rule for moving games? Like, it has to also be cold. Like, they can't bring it to Miami.
I think the
That's
rule is
a good question.
I think it's a neutral site is the first rule. But yeah, why wouldn't they bring it? Maybe there's a scheduling conflict, or maybe it's easy. Who knows? Easier to get people into. So the Bill, they're probably not that far from Ohio. It's probably easier to get there from Buffalo.
Yeah,
I guess
that's probably
true,
true,
right? Yeah, it's got to be
close. What's the closest available stadium that we can get to in the quickest amount of time?
That's neutral.
That's neutral. Because switching it to the other team state, that would be fucked up. That I don't think they would ever do that.
No.
All right, so the bottom team is the fucking home team here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Next up, minus 30 degrees, 8:15.
You're Miami Dolphins.
I also thought, why don't they move this game to noon, if that's possible? I mean, it wouldn't be nearly as cold or as bad, I would assume. Who knows? I don't know anything about this cold weather stuff. Tickets are $50. $50 a seat if you want to die in the cold in Kansas City.
I wonder what the forecast is earlier. Maybe it's worse.
Can you check that, Tank, while we're looking at this, what the forecast is around noon tomorrow?
Even though
Kansas City, Missouri,
it's worse at night with the cold.
You would think, because there's no sun.
It's not Kansas City, Kansas?
No, it's Kansas City, Missouri.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Not in Kansas anymore. So they're giving the Dolphins 4.5 points here. The Dolphins could cover this, or they could get fucking blown out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. The least likely is them winning, obviously.
I would think because of the weather conditions that it shouldn't be a high-scoring game, which means that they should cover.
Yeah. I would lean towards them covering.
I could see like a 17-9 game or something.
Yeah, dude. We may even see like a 9-3 fucking shit fest here. A frozen shit fest. Where like first team to have a touchdown lead. That's it, dude. They're not going to. There might be a lot of running here, even though there's no snow in the forecast, right?
Is that the case? No snow?
I didn't think there was going to be snow this game, but Tank will fill us in a moment.
It's actually colder when there's no snow.
Is that so?
I believe so.
That could be. I don't know.
Because the cold when they show the coldest games ever, the Ice Bowl and that Cincinnati San Diego, it really isn't snowing.
I got it, boys. It'll be 4 degrees.
So that's like a 25-degree difference.
Well,
A balmy
I don't know
4
what the wind chill is. It's
Okay.
-1 without the wind chill.
So chill on the wind. Any snow? Good thing we got our weatherman Tank here with us today.
Yeah. Let's see. Visibility at noon, it's very low.
We need to get one of those Latin weather girls from one of the local stations.
I can do that.
Come on. You're doing
But not for anything. But not for anything of this show, right? It would just to get her.
Oh yeah, I just want to get her over to my house here. Tank's doing fine with the weather. I don't need any.
I think
One of those Telemundo ones.
Yeah. We know what you were thinking.
Well, Bum, now that you mentioned that, I was freezing my ass in New York earlier this week, and we did get to see some snow on the last day, and I don't remember it being colder or anything like that when it was snowing. So that you may be onto something there.
Yeah.
With it's not as cold when it snows.
no report on the snow, gentlemen.
So it doesn't look like there will be snow. The one coming up now, do you want to make a pick on this, Tank? I know you're going Miami.
Oh yeah, Miami.
I think this game, the fear is the snow. And that's why they're talking about moving this, because they could be like running into 3 feet of snow here.
That would be awesome.
Yes. Right. And look at the temperature on that one. It's probably way higher. It's probably not in the negative, but I could be wrong.
It's I believe I looked at it and it was close to 0, but not in the negatives.
Yeah.
For this one. But their fear there is that lake effect snow shit, I guess. I'm not even sure what that lake effect is. That means that it blows water that turns into snow off the lake.
Yeah, because of that's near the big Lake Ontario. Those lakes are so massive; they're almost like an ocean.
Mm.
And when warm air like crosses over those lakes, it produces cold and warm air mixes and creates snow off the lake.
It'll be 22 with snow.
See,
not nearly as cold, but the snow is the concern.
Yeah. I think it snows. I think the sweet spot for snow is like between 18 and 20 degrees.
Yeah, we got lucky because it wasn't full blown like powder that was accumulating. It was little flakes, and it hadn't happened like in 2 years in New York City. So it was just we got lucky there on the last day.
It must be below 32 degrees for it to snow.
Yes, our shit was like right there, probably 30 or something. I just gotten there. So they're giving the Steelers 9 points here.
Wow.
If this game is in Buffalo and they actually play it in Buffalo, I'd take the Steelers.
I'd take them.
This tells me that the Steelers aren't going to score at all, almost.
Wait, so you take Buffalo then to cover?
No. I don't expect a lot of points if they play this game in Buffalo. The over-under is 33, so they're predicting the Bills to win 24-9. That seems like a lot of points for one team to score in that fucking snowfest for me. I would take the Steelers. That's just me. If it's played in Buffalo, if they go to a neutral site with the same point spread, I would then take the Bills.
Yeah, and one thing, look, I love Josh Allen. He's a freaking horse and all that, but he has a propensity to turn the ball over. And if you have a team that could actually cash in on that, unlike the Dolphins, it could be interesting.
Yeah, it's yet to be seen if the Steelers.
I'll take the Bills.
Will be that team. Who are you taking, Bum?
Yeah, I'll take the Bills.
And this one is a 1:00 game, so not as bad as if they played it later in the evening, I would assume. And then
Let's check the weather in Dallas.
It should be nice.
It's a dome.
Packers going down to Dallas. this seems like a lot of points too to me. 7 points.
I don't think the Packers could score that much.
You don't think they could score 7 points?
28 degrees.
No.
Really? 28?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold, dude. That's still pretty fucking cold.
But it's a fucking dome.
Are you serious?
Isn't it?
It's not insulated, maybe.
In Dallas is going to be 28 degrees?
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
At 8:50. Oh, it's at 4:30. Sorry, let me double check that.
Yeah, but he's right. They could close that shit up.
It'll be 26, not 20.
Yeah, but it won't be a factor. They'll close that shit up, probably.
All right.
I would assume.
I'll take the boys on this one.
I mean, you know what? I would take the boys, but this team has a choking component to it. I guess I'll take the Cowboys, but they have an extreme chokeability factor.
I'm gonna take the Packers. I don't know if they'll win. I wouldn't be shocked if they do, but I think they can keep it closer than 7. And then the night game is the my former quarterback against your former quarterback duel here.
Yeah,
Stafford versus Scoop.
we're gonna find out who got the better deal.
And we have
Oh,
sort of
8:15.
a resurgent Rams team versus are they real or not Lions team.
Did you expect that? You guys expected the resurgent Rams? I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect either of these teams to be in the playoffs.
The Lions, oh, you said the Rams. Sorry.
The Rams, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought the Lions had some good talent. And
Yeah,
they were
always.
they were going to be like a team ascending, but I thought the Rams were done, man.
Yeah, after last season, I thought they were done.
Yeah, I thought they were going to just be in a rebuild.
Yep.
Yes,
longer
exactly.
rebuild.
Yes.
But dude, they kept it together. That kid that they drafted really, Nuka Paluka, really fucking helped them
And
big time, dude.
The other kid too.
Kyron Williams.
Yes, Kyron Williams.
And then they finally started getting something out of Cup again. So, and Stafford too. So,
But the Lions were always very offensive team. Not very good on the defense.
I was always offended by their play.
I'll take the Lions on this. Stafford already won, so the Lions are going to make a statement.
And the Lions have like a bad luck fucking aspect to them too.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams, and this is just playoff heart-wrenching for Detroit. Like, it just seems like there's going to be some sort of catastrophe.
They're the only
Detroit.
team that hasn't had a playoff win longer than us.
Yes.
I need to keep it that way. So I want Rams to secure
I hear that.
Secure
That's
that
what
first.
I'm secretly wishing for too.
And I don't care about either of those teams at all. So if the Lions win, fine. You know what I mean? I don't have a rooting interest in this game at all. But I would go with the team that probably has a little more guys who've been there, done it, than this franchise who has like a black cloud over their fucking. And I know they're trying to shed that narrative, but still, look what happened to them a couple weeks ago with that fucking tackle eligible play. Just bad fucking luck, dude.
They could be the dark horse.
They're more like the fucking dead horse to me, but we'll see. I don't know. And then the Monday night, dun 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 dun, Eagles, who are on the fucking slide, right? 1-5, their last 6.
A lot of people haven't been talking about that slide. That's kind of Dolphin-esque, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty horrible. Were they the 1 or 2 seed for a good part of the? What did they end up being?
They end up being a road wildcard team. Probably like the 5th seed or some shit like that.
Jesus.
Because I assume the
Fourth.
Buccaneers.
Oh, fifth. Yes, fifth.
Yeah, because the Bucs are the 4th. They're the worst.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers, shout out to Baker Mayfield, dude. He did this he did better than Tom Brady last year, as far as record and what he was able to do. Did they win I guess they won the division last year too.
They did. So all the weather reports have been under 30. Let's check Tampa.
Tampa's got to be in the fucking
What time?
60s. Night game, 8:00
Yeah,
Monday,
8 p.m.
January 15th.
Oh, it's gonna be a cold one, dude. 57.
Ah.
Wow. I mean, that is an advantage for the Eagles. Not much, but
That's why they
Yeah.
get
What are the-
3 points.
what are the chances of playing in Florida and fucking it being 57?
I think that's like non-factor. I don't know. What are you guys thinking on this one?
I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think they're favored by 3 on the road, but I wouldn't put it fucking past the Bucks.
The Faker Mayfield story ends here.
Hey, but he's up for free agency next year. Can we do that real quick? Can you pull up the available quarterbacks in 2024 free agency? I know the aforementioned Drew Lock is one. I believe Joe Flacco is going to be another one. I believe who else? Tannehill is another one. Russell Wilson, is he going to be another one?
Tannehill, Cousins, Mayfield,
Cousins is another one.
Minshew.
Minshew again. So he
So
was on a 1-year deal.
the top one is
Wow.
Kirk Cousins. Then we got Tannehill, Mayfield, Minshew. Those are the top 4.
A lot of these guys are kind of like the same guy.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there's
They're
a couple
old.
of them coming. They're old and coming off injury. I mean, like Cousins may not be even
Jacoby Brissett,
Jacoby Brisket.
worth signing, dependable backup, and can step in when needed.
We've already had that guy.
Tyrod
Yeah.
Taylor.
He was a backup, but he was not dependable when he was here.
The call on Tyrod Taylor, pass. Mariota, pass.
Jesus.
Hated it.
Sam
Hey, we-
Darnold,
Hated it.
Did another Hawaiian.
Jameis Winston.
Did you guys see the Jameis Winston call to go for it on the victory formation there and score the touchdown?
No.
You didn't see that? They made a big to-do about that. It was at the end of that was Arthur Smith's last game, I believe, against the Falcons. The Saints were up.
Oh, the one that Arthur Smith said it's bullshit and why'd you like got off the stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it was at the end of the game. They were like at the 1-yard line, victory formation, and I guess the players overrode the call, and Winston said, "You guys want to score a touchdown?" And they lined up in victory, but they went for it and they scored the touchdown. And then he got all pissed off.
Joshua Dobbs.
I think that's kind of bullshit, but like, never let your fucking guard down, bro. You know,
Yeah.
never let your guard down.
Easton Stick. Mason Rudolph. The call, pass, even as a backup. Jake Browning.
He played okay.
Those are the 14 that are going to be available.
Yeah, but if you look at the draft, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft.
They also have a white cornerback.
Do we have a first round pick? No, right?
I believe we do.
Do we?
I
You
think
sure
we
we
do.
haven't sold our ass? Didn't we mortgage the future for a couple of years?
I think so.
May want to double check that.
I'm going to check that right now.
But there's a lot of good quarterbacks, well beyond the first round that you can get this year.
We have a round 1, yes.
Yep.
What pick? Well, I guess it depends how we finish.
Maybe. We have a 1, 2, 5, 6 from Chicago, another 6, and a 7. But it's not telling me what pick, what number.
I mean, we're going to the playoffs. If it's our pick, then it's going to be a pick in the
20s.
low 20s, probably, since we're one of the worst playoff
They're they own their first.
teams.
Yeah, first, second. Yeah. It's depending on how we finish.
Yeah.
Can we pull up a list?
They don't have the balls to draft.
We lost our third rounder due to violating league policies.
We're good at that.
We also
said
lost
that-
our fourth for trading for Bradley Chubb.
Can we pull up the quarterbacks available in the draft to show here, Tank, on the screen?
Yes, sir.
I know there's the kid from Florida State who was coming off injury. There's the kid from USC. There's the kid from Oregon. There's the kid from Michigan, McCarthy. There's
I got it up.
all right.
By the way, I think the coach of Washington is going to Alabama.
Yeah, I thought that was peculiar. I thought that it was peculiar that they didn't have a success. What do you call that?
Succession plan?
Yes. Okay, so Jaden Daniels, I didn't mention him. LSU, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, another lefty here from Washington, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams. Wow, they have him ranked as the sixth by QBR. Jordan Travis is the kid I was talking about from Florida State. A lot of people like Drake May, North Carolina. Shador Sanders, is he declared for the draft? No. I didn't think he declared for the draft.
Let's check another one.
Well, I guess nobody's declared just yet anyways, right?
They got him in this list too at number 6. You were talking about the kid from Florida?
Yeah, Florida State.
They don't even have him on this one.
Oh, wow. He got injured.
What
And
about
how
that?
many teams at the top are looking for quarterbacks?
Let's see.
Almost everybody.
Atlanta. We don't know if Chicago is.
There's a mock draft here.
I guess there's a possibility of Sanders declaring for the draft, but I don't think he officially has.
Wow, they have these guys.
So I'm surprised they don't have the Patriots getting a quarterback.
This guy is supposed to be good, I heard.
Yeah.
He is.
Basically, Belichick leaves and they finally draft a receiver.
Well,
That's worth a damn.
Yeah, they tried. He didn't not try. He just failed every time. So this is a mock draft here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down a little bit further.
Wow, they got the Chargers getting another wide receiver.
Didn't the Giants already have another quarterback named Daniels? Oh no, that was Daniel, right? Chase Daniels or Daniel Chase or something like that.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Danny Dimes.
Who the hell's Chase Daniels that I'm thinking about?
Maybe Chase Young.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm chasing.
Chase
Aisa
Edmonds?
Fulaga. Fashuna. Olo Fashuna.
I would have thought these Falcons don't have a quarterback. That's what they need.
Have they given up on that Ritter guy? The Vikings here, they're projecting them for Penix,
Yeah, that makes sense because I don't think they're going to re-sign Cousins.
a rare
Yeah.
lefty quarterback.
He's a free agent in 24.
Raiders need a quarterback, don't they?
I don't know, unless they're going to keep rolling with this kid they've been playing.
A lot of Samoans, huh?
Yeah, Brock Bowers, great name for a football player.
Yeah. Sounds like a porn star.
Here's
What
another Polynesian. Fat Anu?
Fat anus?
I've seen that category.
Fatanu?
Amarius Mims. That sounds like an offensive lineman.
What's up with there's a lot of memes coming out of college the last few years.
Nate Wiggins definitely sounds like a cornerback.
I don't know if he might be a cornerback safety. My friend that played in the Cardinals is James Wiggins.
A lot of Wiggins out there. Chop Robinson.
Chop. That's a great name.
Yeah. What about Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's white.
Hey, look, they got us taking an edge player.
I would think our mock draft's like a dry erase board. It changes by the hour.
Depending on our injuries. Look, they got the Falcons investing in a receiver. I mean, the Chiefs, I'm sorry. Let's see what the next quarterback is.
TJ Tampa?
Going to the Lions.
Nah, he's got to go to Tampa, dude.
That's a fake name.
That's a missed opportunity if the Bucs don't draft him. Not because of any of his skill set.
They have it only to 32. So
and that other name sounds like there's been a ton of them. Keon Coleman. Come on.
So we didn't see Bo Nix here. We didn't see the kid from FSU. We didn't see Shedeur Sanders. We didn't see did we see McCarthy out of Michigan?
No. Only the top two were QBs.
No, there was like one more somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, Jaden Daniels. Yes, yeah.
No, this is a different one though.
This is a different one. Yeah, they had Jaden Daniels, I think, going to New York.
Right, and they had Penix also.
On the other one, they had Penix going to the Vikings.
So only 4 quarterbacks in the first. Did they even have? They had the LSU guy. Not LSU. They had the LSU guy and the USC guy.
Yeah, okay. Drake.
Caleb. I'm just saying, dude. If one of these top 6-7 quarterbacks is there in the second round, why the fuck not?
They have us getting a
tackle.
Yeah, only because we didn't have any tackles on the roster when they wrote this article, and the other article was written when we didn't have any linebackers. But it depends after what injury.
Oh, look, this one has a second round.
Okay, let's see. Oh, but we're going to be late into the second round.
Bo Nix is 42.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the other one had Minnesota taking
Penix 43.
Wow.
And the other one 44. Sorry.
On the other one, Penix was in the first round.
Yeah. Like 11th or something.
I like Bo Nix better than Penix.
I didn't like what I saw out of Penix.
Bo Nix is a pretty good football name.
Yes, he had like a small Penix that game. Was his problem.
In his bow?
Yeah.
What about Kalen Bullock?
That's a good safety name. They got us taking a D lineman.
How about Tavonde Sweat?
Is it Sweat?
Sweet.
I think it's Sweat.
Yeah, I think it is Sweat.
I don't know. I guess none of those guys will be available by the time we pick in the second, and they'd get roasted if they take one in the first.
Like this one has 3
they don't have
in
the
the
balls
first round.
to take it in the first.
Take it in the ass.
They see themselves as a team having other needs.
Oh yeah, the team has other needs. Yeah, I mean, really, they got to roll with fucking Tuna, dude. They've gone all in. They're not gonna make a change, man.
Yeah, this one only has Williams, May, and Daniels in the first round.
But that finally has to. If it doesn't work out, right, and all indications is that it probably won't. That has to finally kill Greer, right?
He'll have McDaniels fired first. I don't know, dude. I would hope so, but even
or then he'll bring in Tom Brady.
My opinion started to change a little bit of him during the year, because he did seem to be making some good moves. But to me, that cardinal sin is Tua Herbert. That's the one. Okay, last thing I'll ask you to pull up, Tank. You showed this to me and I hadn't seen it. Bum, we haven't even discussed this, so I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it. We have not the schedule, but we have the opponents for the Dolphins.
Yes.
Did you see this, Bum?
For next year?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Is this official?
Yeah, the Dolphins posted it on their Instagram.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Interesting.
Right here, Sports Illustrated. Opponents finalized.
Titans again. Raiders again.
Wow.
Jaguars, and we're playing the West, it looks like.
These are the home games.
We're playing the NFC West.
And the AFC West. Or no, not all of the AFC West. One AFC West and the AFC South?
Yeah.
Now, are you ready for the away games?
Dude, that's a lot of good teams. Let's go from the top. Let's take it from the top. Okay, bad team. I don't want on the cusp of playoffs, one of those.
The Jets may be completely different next year if Rodgers could stay healthy.
But the Raiders were not terrible in the end, sort of. The Jaguars were almost a playoff team. Okay, this part right here is not too bad.
Yeah, I will say Tennessee Titans and the Raiders are really the bad teams there. And I'm sorry, the Patriots.
Cards are tanking.
But
hey, how long?
Niners.
How long before Murray goes to the A's?
I don't know.
What?
They hold his rights in baseball. He was drafted in the first round by them.
Oh.
They're going to be in Vegas. But the fucking Niners, dude. And then you got our arch nemesis, playoff team, almost playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. Go down. Almost playoff team, playoff team. None of these teams have a losing record here. 9-8, 9-8, 10-7, 11-6, 9-8, 10-7. That's all the road games. Every road game is a winning team.
Yep, and we only beat one this year.
Except, go up a little bit. Except those two, Patriots, Jets. But the other 7, and we have 9 road games.
Yep.
9 road games, 7 of which against teams with a winning record.
I don't know. I think this year's, at least when I first looked at this year's schedule, it looked a lot harder than this.
Oh, for sure. But I think the away games is what gets us.
Well, yeah, they're usually pretty good at home, even though you're going to have to play the Bills at home. You're going to have to play the Niners at home. Then the other teams look pretty.
The Jets with Rodgers,
handleable.
Patriots with Mayo.
Not worried about the Patriots.
What about the opener?
Oh my God!
Oh, sorry. It's not.
Yeah, this is not really a schedule.
Yeah.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers went a little bit off the rails
with the Epstein flight.
Yeah, he was talking a little shit with McAfee saying, I know Jimmy Kimmel hopes those list doesn't come out.
I hate Kimmel, bro.
Dude, I used to like him back in the
Yes,
day.
I used to like him recently.
He used to do like a little. They used to bring him in on football too. He used to do like a little football stuff always on the pre-show. I thought he was funny, and then he just became ultra political.
He became woke.
Ultra, yeah. I watched his opening monologue the other day just for shits and giggles, and it was like all about like a congressional hearing. I'm like, am I watching a fucking comedy late night show, or am I watching like fucking CNN here? What the fuck am I watching here?
NPR.
Yeah, it was all about the whole fucking some hearing. I don't even remember what the hell it was about. And he like dissected it and like play by play. It was just like, oh my god, this is who the only Democrats are watching this show. Like he like just is exclusively catering to that one. I guess it's worth it for them. I don't know.
I haven't enjoyed any of those late night guys. I mean, all of them are kind of funny at times, but that whole woke political thing
But
is just.
when did that happen? Because you would watch David Letterman, Johnny Carson, Conan O'Brien.
They made fun of politics on both sides. They never were just exclusive and trying to make some type of commentary, specific commentary against the other.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody taking like a hard stance. Like everybody, there was guests all around, on the shows. There was jokes about everything.
Yeah,
I don't want to say they were apolitical, but like
they were closer to apolitical than what they are now.
I could probably guess what their political, leanings were, but like that wasn't like a big part of the show. That wasn't like what the show was. The show was about comedy and, having fun guests or whatever, good musical guests, shit like that.
I guess all those people are in fucking Hollywood, bro. So it's Cali.
Yeah, that's the last era that I remember enjoying when Letterman was still on. Conan was kind of a younger guy. Never really liked Leno that much.
I never really liked Leno. I did like Letterman and Conan. I thought Conan was hilarious.
Conan was my favorite, dude.
Yeah,
because he would make fun of himself more than anybody else. It was always like
and when a hot chick came on, like he was like, yeah,
he would become a little like jittery,
like a spaz.
Yeah.
I like Fallon, but on Instagram Reels.
Yeah, but Fallon also kind of became like a fake. He's probably not as political as these other guys, but like he's always kind of like, you can't be that happy. Like I feel like he's gonna blow his brains out one day, and the fuck, like he can't.
I mean, I like Fallon like more on Saturday Night Live than him just as a guest host or just as his own show.
He's probably way more talented than these other modern guys that we're mentioning, but I just like he became like Brian Seacrest also. Like he's kind of like those that
too much.
Yeah, like whoa, settle down, dude.
I remember Fallon in that SNL skit on the cork soakers.
Ain't no bum covers, no serious.
He's a real cork soaker.
The game is afoot.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's amazing how all those guys. I don't know if it's like you got to be part of the club, and this is the club, and this is what we're doing. And like everybody kind of like has to like kind of toe the. I don't know. Does all that come from the heart, all that stuff, or is that more like, hey, we got to be all united on this?
Tank, did you say it has something to do with Cali too?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big component.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But all these other guys were in Cali too, right? Well, some were in New York. But like all this Colbert, what's the other guy? The British guy.
Well, that guy's not it.
Don
Craig
Lemon.
Ferguson or something.
No, he's not terrible. Who's the other guy?
That guy that was another guy that would just bring on women and like just check them out and talk about his snake. And
Who's the
he
guy?
was a Scottish guy.
It's not Colbert. It's the other guy that's kind of like a British guy or something.
James Corden.
Yes, yes.
What's his
They
name?
said that guy was a
James Corden.
Yeah,
fat guy.
yeah. No, that's not the fat guy, is it?
He's a little chubby.
He's chubby, but he does like the car sing along things.
The karaoke
Yeah.
karaoke thing.
Or
They
Graham
said
Norton,
They say he was a son of a bitch. Dude.
Craig Ferguson.
No, the James Corden guy, the karaoke guy. They say he treated the staff like dogs. And
That's
Can
what
we
they
bring up
say.
a picture of it? Can we
Yeah,
bring up a picture of the current late night host? The one I couldn't stand was the
Ellen. Fuck that hoe.
no. What was this guy's name? South African guy, I think.
Elon Musk.
No.
Oh, Trevor.
Oh yeah, Noah or whatever. I don't know. No, that's a
Noah,
basketball player.
Trevor Noah.
Noah.
I know who you're talking about. Is that his name?
That's the guy. The car karaoke car thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that guy had some funny moments. Who are some of these? Like, can we pull up like the? Yeah, there you go.
I guess these are the only people still around doing late night.
Seth Meyers.
Oh, Smith. Yeah, Seth
But
Meyers.
that's
Where
not,
did that shit?
that's not the British guy. That guy's a former SNL guy, right?
Yeah. When does that guy still has a show? Is that after Jimmy Fallon? I don't even know. I don't stay up that late to watch that shit.
Chasey lately.
Jimmy Flaccid.
Let's see.
Chasey lately?
John Oliver is the other guy I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't watch that.
No,
I've
I
never
don't either.
seen him.
But you know who he is, right?
That's the guy with the glasses, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
That dweeb.
Yes. Annoying guy. Oh, they have Merv Griffin on this list.
He's dead.
And Andy Richter.
Trevor Noah.
John Stewart. That's the guy you like, Randy.
You know, he's, for me, on the lighter side of a lot of those wackos. Still very, very, he's a lefty, right?
I think so. I think this is. Why is Jimmy
I'm gonna-
Fallon under Bill Maher?
Yeah,
somebody
they're
fucked
all,
that up.
Yeah,
What about this guy right here?
I was gonna say that's how I date myself. I grew up watching that guy.
Yeah, he was like that era's kind of guy.
That was the cool guys.
Yeah.
People just showed up to his show drunk, and they would be smoking. And
What about
wow,
the guy?
Conan looks weird there. Conan looks strange.
What about the guy that had Malcolm X on his show?
I don't know who that was.
I hear violence in her voice. Damn,
Oh,
that's
That
old.
that would have to be like his name was Cavett.
That was a white lady in the crowd, I think, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that Cavett? What was something Cavett?
Cabin 19. Letterman used to smoke cigars on his show.
Yes.
I liked Letterman. I liked Conan. I grew up with Carson.
Carson, Letterman, and Conan, I think, are pretty much it.
Yeah, and then Leno's of that era, but I didn't like him, to be honest.
I never liked Leno's humor.
No, and he's kind of a little bit stuffy, a little bit.
He has a massive jaw.
Yeah, that he burnt off recently in an accident in his garage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that guy's kind of full of himself.
Yeah.
Conan was a little more easygoing, and Johnny Carson just reminds me of that whole Rat Pack kind of era thing. That was kind of cool, you know. Okay, speaking of that era, I'll go.
Dick Cavett is the guy I'm thinking of.
I'll go. You know what? I'm gonna go make myself a drink here. I'll be right back, gentlemen. Continue.
Yeah, no problem. I was saying, Bum, when I first got in, when you guys couldn't hear me, when I showed the bottle of Buffalo Trace, I said dry January.
No.
You know about that?
Are you doing it?
No, obviously not. Was that a normal thing? Like always? I feel like this is the first time I hear about it. I don't know if it's because I'm...
No, I think I've heard that before. I think I heard it before. And a lot of people do it sort of like more as a New Year's resolution thing, you know? Like start off the year with no drinking.
Yeah, maybe because they drink a lot for the New Year and Christmas.
Yeah. I did it for 3 months in preparation for football season to clean myself out.
But you kind of you kept it going while it started, no?
I kept it a little longer. No, I did it exactly for 3 months. Yeah. And I didn't really I didn't really drink in the beginning of football season.
And what about now? I saw you held up the water bottle.
Well, I'm saving myself for tomorrow because the goat. I may end up watching the Dolphin game with the goat tomorrow, and I wanna rest my liver for that.
Tomorrow they played tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday?
8:00.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow 8:00. In the freezing tundra of Kansas City,
Missouri.
So Tank, being a Dolphin fan that isn't as jaded and hurt as the GOAT and myself, what did you think of this season?
I can't lie, I was excited.
So was I.
Cautiously
excited. You were probably full excited.
Yeah, I was full excited. I was we're 3-0. Now we're gonna play the Bills. I did say though, this is gonna show us if we got it or not. And we didn't have it.
But even after that loss, or we got our ass kicked in that game.
Yeah.
But even after that, we started to win again consecutively. And I felt good again, right?
Didn't you? Yes, for sure. Then we spanked the Bucks. We got the 70. You know, we didn't win the title. We might not make it to the Super Bowl. We should, in retrospect, we should have gone for the all-time score record, right? He should have kicked the field goal. At least.
Looking back at it now, that may have been the highlight of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I thought we had it. Achon or Shane, whatever, however you say his name, he came through. He had a lot of yards. I don't know. We were winning, bro. We were winning,
but it's always what happens is that December, January, it's like a curse. Immediately something changes.
And we were looking good because we had the Buffaloes early. We didn't have them now. We didn't
like in the cold.
Yeah, in the extremely cold weather.
You guys talking about this Dolphin season?
Yeah, he was asking me as an
unjaded, unhurt
Dolphin fan.
When I looked at the schedule, I wasn't seeing a late season collapse. I was seeing us get just killed in that Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles, Niners, Cowboys.
It was Eagles, Patriots, Chiefs. I thought like that was gonna be the downfall. But
and even the Chiefs game was close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought we had it in us, but I did say the Bills game was going to show us. The first Bills game was going to show us if we had it or not, and we got murdered. But
when I looked at the schedule originally, like before they played one game, I really thought they were going to win 5 games.
I had 6.
I think I said something like 12. But
so
that number will go down every year that you're a fan.
But yeah, no, I had us. I don't know. I thought we were gonna do really good. We made it to the playoffs. Let's see.
It could get all erased tomorrow, right?
It could. Tua, I gave Tua. Tua was drafted in 2020, right?
Yeah.
I gave him
No, 2019. This is his 4th year.
Well, I thought whatever. Last year was my okay, this is his last year.
He had 2 with Flores and now 2 with McDaniel. So what were you saying? This was his last year to show you something?
No, last year. Last year was my last year for him to be like, because last year we had Tyreek, we had Waddle. It was like, dude, this is it. Last year and fucking whatever. He got hurt. He had those 2 concussions. I waived it. This was the year that something was supposed to happen. And
it said he was drafted in 2020.
Yeah, I think it was 20.
20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, you're right. 4th year, but 2020 was the draft. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize how bad that injury he had in college was. It was a broken hip, or part of a hip, I don't know, broken nose and a concussion, all in the same play.
Jesus. What did he get hit by a truck?
Yes, which is just your average size NFL college player for him.
I thought you were going to say
the kicker ran into him?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year I said
the water boy.
It might have been on one of the episodes. I don't know if it was but I said that last year was the last year that he had, because he had all the weapons. Like that was the problem. He was good. He didn't have anybody, but he had a Waddle and he had Tyreek. But whatever, he got hurt. This was his last year. I don't know. I don't think he's the quarterback that we need.
It's just the problem is we're going to have to roll one more year. At least. I'm just hoping they don't give him that big contract, because then we'll be saddled with that guy and with the money left over for the rest of the team.
And McDaniel fucking loves him, or so it seems. So he's going to have some influence in that.
I mean, he has no other choice, dude. What is he going to do?
It's true. You can't shit on your players, but
Well, somebody's going to do it once their job is on the line. Either Greer or McDaniel or both. Somebody's going to start doing it.
Yeah,
Marino.
Greer can't really do it because, well, hey, you're the guy who brought that guy here, right?
Yeah.
So you're
You
shitting
would
on
think.
yourself if you do that.
All right, enough about these losers. 25 years anniversary this week of The Sopranos airing.
I've never
I
seen
did not
it.
know that.
I've never seen it, but there's a quote that I fucking love from that I saw it on Instagram.
What is it?
It was I don't know if it's his nephew or somebody related to him. He's like, oh, whatever. He's like, whatever his name is, keeps dodging me. You know, I lent him $20 and now he doesn't answer my calls. I don't see him. He's like, just think about it. You know, you got rid of him for $20.
I believe that's Goodfellas, though.
Oh, sorry.
Or not Goodfellas. The one with Henry Hill.
That is good, fellas.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Henry. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, pretty sure. He was like,
That's the best $20 you ever spent. Now you got rid of that guy. You never see him again. That is a good quote, though. I was getting that confused with the Bronx Tale, but yeah, it's good. Is it Goodfellas? I think it's Bronx
Tale.
Maybe
Bronx
it
Tale.
is. Yeah,
It's
it
Bronx
is.
Tale. It's Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
Well, you said Henry Hill, and I said Henry Hill is definitely
It's Goodfellas. Yeah,
Well,
that's why. Because I seen Goodfellas, I haven't seen Bronx Tale. Either.
We were all partially wrong, partially right, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry then. I haven't seen it. That's all I have to say about that.
Also, the famous one is from that particular movie is when he tells him about the girl, how you know you got a good girl.
Yeah. If she unlocks the door.
You open the door for her, you let her in, and if she goes and unlocks the door for you, that's a good one.
All right, what about this one? Since you guys know about mafia movies, he's like, "Hey,
forget about it.
No,
I'm walking here.
There's this color girl, you know, my friend. He's like, she likes a color broad. Not in my house.
What movie is this? Is what you're asking me?
Yeah.
It might be the same one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. With De Niro. De Niro's the dad that he doesn't like the black
the bus driver.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite mafia movie quotes.
Funny how? That's the only mafia movie I've seen, dude.
What?
I haven't seen The Godfather. I haven't. I know. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
There's so many good ones in the Godfather.
Yeah, you need to watch The Godfather, Goodfellas,
Casino.
I haven't seen Casino.
Bronx Tale.
Casino.
Gangs of New York? I think I've seen that.
Yeah, that's like early organized crime, but it wouldn't really qualify as wise guy kind of. Donnie Brasco I like too.
Donnie Brasco is a good one.
Yeah. Those are probably some of my favorite ones. But like
Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way is a good one. Not so. That was more like Puerto Rican kind of Latin,
like street Puerto Rican kind of.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Yeah.
All
Benny
sort of
Blanco
the same values and kind of same kind of mafia shit. But some of my favorite quotes are probably like "Leave the gun, take the cannoli."
Classic.
I made him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
Classic.
Paulie, we won't be seeing him no more. That's almost in all of those movies. That may be in The Sopranos. There's a Paulie Walnuts.
Well, they're always quoting other mafia movies, not shows, mostly movies, right? They quote The Godfather a lot. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Yeah.
Come on, bum, give me one.
Tom, could you get me off the hook for all time's sake?
That's a good one. From Abe Bagoda.
Wow, I didn't think you would Did you know him as Fish?
No.
Oh, okay.
Who's Fish?
That was actually. You ever heard of a show called Barney Miller?
Yeah.
Well, it was about these detectives in Chicago or New York, and Abe Vigoda was a detective there called, his nickname was Fish. And he eventually had a spinoff called Fish. I never saw Abe Vigoda as a young man. He looked the same his entire life.
There used to be a lot of guys like that in show business.
Yes.
A lot. That they were never young.
There's a
Never young.
prequel to The Sopranos.
Is there really?
I saw it. It was called the Saints of Newark.
The Many Saints of Newark.
Yes. You know what? It wasn't that great.
I just looked up the best gangster movie, the 15 most iconic lines from gangster movies.
Give it to us.
Hit it.
15 is Boys in the Hood. Never respect anybody who doesn't respect you back.
I
just saw that recently. Pretty good.
Then
I like that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Depressing though. It's depressing.
Yeah. And not a happy ending for anybody.
No, I'm surprised you would like that, Randy. I mean, it's depressing as hell.
Very good acting in that movie. Very good actors.
Very emotional.
I mean, I liked it. But
more up your alley of tragedy.
I do like dramedies.
Yeah.
14 is that one. The Many Saints of Newark. He doesn't have the makings of a varsity athlete.
I don't even remember that one.
13, The Irishman. The 3 people can keep a secret only when 2 of them are dead. 12, Reservoir Dogs. I've seen that. I don't tip because society says I have to.
That's Mr. Pink. Steve Buscemi.
11, Carlito's Way. You're a gangster now. You're on the other side. Whole new ball game. You can't learn about it in school, and you can't have a late start.
Is that something Carlito says?
Al Pacino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bonnie and Clyde. This here's Miss Bonnie Parker. I'm Clyde Barrow. We rob banks.
I just saw.
You ever see that movie?
I think I did.
1967.
That's a very good movie.
Yeah.
It has a great cast.
9.
I didn't see that. You know what I saw? The one, a
Thelma
modern
and
version.
Louise.
That's a gangster movie?
No.
Technically, right?
No, you know what I saw? I saw Highwaymen, which is about
That's
Bonnie
good.
and Clyde.
Yeah,
that was really good.
The guys that got him, I guess. Yeah, the Texas Rangers.
They were Texas Rangers, yeah.
It says we likely wouldn't have films like Goodfellas without Bonnie and Clyde. Number 9, Once Upon a Time in America. I like the stink of the streets. It cleans out my lungs. 8, The Untouchables. You've got nothing. You've got nothing but talk and a badge.
That movie has moments of cheesiness, but overall, it's pretty good. I know you're not a Kevin Costner fan.
No, that's probably one of the more palpable Kevin Costner movies for me. I thought that was pretty good.
Damn, I'm starting to think that De Niro.
And the Highwayman, he's in the Highwayman, and I thought that was good too.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that De Niro's genre is
really in the mafia.
Yeah. 7, Casino. For guys like me, Las Vegas washes away your sins. It's like a morality car wash. 6, American Gangster. Is that
Denzel Washington?
Yeah,
Russell Crowe.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you are what you are in this world. That's either one of 2 things. Either you're somebody or you ain't nobody.
I think the Denzel is that character is based on the guy in New York.
Yeah, a Harlem guy.
Frank Lucas.
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, I think that's the name they use, but it's really based on a real life guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big in New York.
The Godfather, number 5. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. 4. The Godfather Part 2. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
That's a good one.
Is that
It broke my heart, Fredo.
That's a young Al Pacino.
How about never
Al
take sides against the family?
Yes.
What about?
You're not a wartime consigliere, Tom. You're out.
Papa Hadjenko.
Look what I got.
What's that? Yeah.
Macane ni macane, así viene el sándwich.
That piece of shit. Never trusted him.
Can't even have babies.
For one, it's so polluted.
Hey, from that movie, you need a bad guy. That's a fucking line.
Need a bad guy like me to point the finger at.
Yeah, that's a fucking line.
Say goodbye to the bad guy. You're never gonna see a bad guy like me again.
Number 3.
Got this bag.
Goodfellas. As far as back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster.
Mm-hmm. That's like the start of the movie, I think.
Yeah. Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
Fly.
Number 1 is from The Godfather. Oh, you already said it. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah. You can act like a man.
I'm no band leader.
What can I do, Godfather? What can I do? You can act like a man. Yeah, there's so many good ones. So, The Sopranos, Bum. I know you saw the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I just decided to start watching it last night, and I got pretty hooked. I saw a few episodes. I started watching one today. I'm probably going to continue. I really like it, man. It seems really good, and it's also good with the now watching it. Like it's a snapshot of that time, which is like it's not that long ago, but it's like a totally different time, pre-internet, social media. That's probably like the end of the mafia world as it was, probably. Like dwindling down, getting.
Yeah. I have it ranked number 2 on my list of series that I've watched. It is 7 years, so we'll have to see how committed you are.
I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna do it in 7 years. I'm gonna do it probably in 7 days.
You know what's another crazy thing about that? His consigliere is the lead guitarist for Bruce Springsteen. Did you ever know that?
The Jewish guy?
The Jewish guy.
The old guy that he always goes to for advice?
No. Oh, how many episodes have you seen? No, he's been there from the beginning.
5 or 6.
Is it Sil? It's his consigliere.
Is it the guy that referred him to the psychiatrist?
Tank, bring up the cast of The Sopranos.
It's like an older guy.
The short guy. With the coiffed hair and the eyes like this.
Okay, so the guy I'm thinking of probably is more like a mentor guy. Like I've seen him in this episode go to that guy.
You're thinking I think about his uncle.
No, his uncle's kind of like his rival.
Who are you talking about, Bum?
The Sopranos cast?
No, but what character?
Is it Sel? His consigliere. He's the guitar player for the E Street Band. Which is a weird thing, right? A rock and roll guy playing
the what? The
guy.
East,
and he wasn't even an actor.
The East Street.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen and the East Street Band.
Now you got me intrigued. You're gonna have to pull up a picture of this guy.
Oh, that is like a critical thing there.
The only guy that I see there that could be his consigliere, that guy looks so Italian, dude.
Nils Lofgren,
No.
Steven Van Zandt.
Yes. Bring up that guy as a rocker. See if you have a picture of him as a rocker, and
All
then
right,
one
I got
as
it.
a soprano.
There.
Is it with his bandana? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
That is so so odd. This rocker playing the mafia guy.
How did he get that role?
That's another thing. How did he get that role? And there he is as Silvio.
This is the guy always doing. He said every time they think I'm out, they pull me back in. Right?
This guy's great. You're gonna see through the series. This guy is.
Yeah, all the wise guys are pretty fucking funny.
Look at this. I got another.
Polly Walnuts just died, I think, in the last year or so. I don't know if you've seen him. The guy with the raccoon hair.
Yeah,
That guy's hilarious. Dude.
that's like one of their enforcer guys, right?
Yes. One of their capos.
Mm-hmm.
They're
out of New Jersey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're in waste management.
Mm-hmm.
Sanitation, not sanitarium.
Told you to tell him he was in sanitarium, not sanitation. Should have told him he was a horse. I would have let you go.
Hey, there's. I found some more quotes. This one from The Untouchables is pretty good.
Did you ever see that, Tank?
Nah.
Oh my God, Tank, you got a lot of work to do, man.
I want you to find this Nancy boy, Elliot Ness, and I want him dead.
Nancy boy.
I want his
I want
family
his family dead.
I want his ashes burned to the ground. And I want to go out in the middle of the night and piss on his ashes.
You know what? You should bring up that scene because the quote doesn't do it justice without the scene. Or is that a
We're gonna get demonetized.
We'll probably get hit for copyright.
Never mind then.
Okay.
Watch it on your own.
Sanitation.
I got The Departed. I seen The Departed. That was pretty good.
Oh, that's another good one.
That's based on Whitey Bulger, right?
Wyatt Earp.
Whitey Bulger.
I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Now they haven't have they done any good Gotti movies?
John
I know
Gotti?
they've done a horrible one, I believe, with John Travolta.
Yeah, I said good ones.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen to this, Randy. You know how you're always talking crap about how us young
You
folk,
could just stop right there. I'm always talking crap. You could just do that.
how us young folk like
Period. Stop.
like, hey, I know Macho Man from the Slim Jim commercials.
Yeah, dude. All these younger people around me, like, and even Bruno now, it's like, oh, that's Patrick
From
Mahomes
Fortnite.
from Fortnite. I'm like, that's oh, I know that song, and it's like a, famous song. It's from
A
SpongeBob.
donut commercial.
Yeah, or some shit.
Do you guys know, if you can guess, I don't think you will. Do you know where I know John Travolta from? What movie?
Pulp Fiction.
No, I just saw that like last year or 2 years ago. You're not gonna
Face
guess
Off?
it. No,
Swordfish.
no, and you're gonna be like, bro, like, are you serious?
Definitely not Saturday Night Fever.
No. You guys aren't gonna guess it because I don't know if you've even seen it.
Oh, like, was he in Who's Talking Now or something?
No, I'll
No,
tell
that was
I know
Three
him
dads and a baby. I don't know.
close. I know him from Wild Hogs.
I don't even know what that is.
Wild Hogs. I don't even know what that is.
It's four dads. It's him, Martin Lawrence,
Martin.
Tim Allen.
So I'm
Oh,
seeing
they
that-
buy like Harleys?
Yeah, and they go riding, and then they run into some trouble.
I'm seeing that
Okay.
your forte in movies are Martin Lawrence movies.
The
Because you like Black Knight, right?
Black Knight, yeah.
You probably like Bad Boys too.
Bad Boys.
He's in Bad
Oh
Boys.
yeah, no, I've seen them, but no.
But you've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them.
What Martin Lawrence movie have you not seen? Martin. That guy went crazy.
He was from a show originally, no?
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah. Hey,
Martin.
Tank, how many black and white movies have you liked?
Dude, I
No,
tried.
let's just start with scene.
I tried to watch Casablanca and I couldn't.
Oh, come on. That's like my favorite movie of all time, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Nah.
It
Pulp
is.
Fiction is probably your favorite movie of all time.
Probably. But it's up there.
Let's see.
I
Martin
believe
Lawrence.
Casablanca won our March Madness movie marathon.
Yes.
I've seen Bad Boys, all of them, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, come on.
I've seen Big Mama's
Godfather
House.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Nothing. Bad Boys. I've seen them all.
I'm seeing a
movie.
very bad pattern here. I see like you haven't seen any of the classics and you've seen all of Martin's Lawrence catalog.
I've seen Big Mama's House. I've seen Open House, Wild Hogs. I've seen Death at a Funeral.
Oh, Jesus.
I
The youth
haven't.
is in trouble.
I haven't seen Kid and Play, Boomerang. That's it. I think those are the only ones that I've seen.
There's one that he has with this hot,
Boomerang isn't bad, actually.
which is the one where the chick is kind of crazy that he's in.
A Thin Line Between Love.
Maybe. Love and Hate.
There's a
So-
Bad Boys 4 coming out. I'm going to watch it.
I'm gonna roll with the rest of the Sopranos. And I was in New York City recently, and the show is kind of set there in New Jersey, New York, and I liked that. We had fun in New York, man. It was I love that place, dude. I hadn't been in at least since the kids are born. Bruno's 10, so I would say like 12 years. I used to go to the toy fair there every once in a while, and then I've been there.
Wait,
and
what do you like about it so much?
Dude, it's just so. First of all, I like to walk. I'm a walker, so I enjoy walking. And there, you're walking in you're like walking in a movie almost all the time. There, when you're walking around that city, it's like there's always like, oh my God, there's the Empire State Building. Oh my God, there's Times Square. There's Rockefeller Center. There's the Empire. Did I already say Empire State Building?
Yeah.
There's Broadway. There's a Broadway show there. There's Central Park. There's this. You look around and there's these massive,
The
impressive
Twin
buildings.
Towers.
I didn't see the Twin Towers
Not
because they're not.
anymore.
But I was for the first time I saw the memorial, and
Yes.
that was really, really something, man.
Yeah.
And I wish I could see a video of how that area transformed because they made like this whole walkway. Maybe you can pull up a picture, Tank, the 911 memorial, and it walks
With
into
the
the new.
reflection pool.
Yeah, and they have like the outline of where the towers were. And I was shocked. Really, I was like, "Oh my God, this is prime real estate," And they carved out this big area to just leave these pools with all the names of the people who perished
Yep.
around the edge of each tower, plus this like kind of park walking into the new One World Tower. What up, Remo? We should talk about those fake aliens. I don't know how much you guys know
Hey,
about that.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you guys see that there was like footage released of the second plane hitting?
New footage?
I don't know if it's new, but it's rare. It's like people on a boat. Because have you guys seen the second plane hitting ever?
Oh, I think
Yeah,
I
I
know
think
what
I
you're
have.
talking about.
It's people on a boat and it shows it hitting. I've never seen it. That was the first time I saw it. I've always seen the first plane, which is like a guy doing like an interview or something. I don't know if here you see what you're talking about, Randy.
Okay, so these are the two pool. It's like a pool.
A reflection pool.
Yeah, and there's a walkway leading towards it, and I'm if I had a wider shot, I could probably. It kind of walks to it from Battery Park, and then it leads into the new One World Tower, and we went up
Let
there.
me know if you see it. Maybe this one.
It's New York is so big. This is kind of a tight shot. Before you get to this, there's like a long walkway with these trees, and then it walks you, and then you lead into this area, and then a little bit further. I think that's the one tower there on the left on that picture that you're showing, which is the new observatory that they have, and the view and everything is very similar to the other towers that I got to go on those one time as well. It was very impressive, man, and there was a lot of security in that area, a lot of cops all around. But it was impressive, man. But dude, the number one thing from New York City that I got out of it from this trip was like, dude, it became new weed city, dude. There's so many weed stores everywhere, dude, all along Times Square and all that area, and people smoking joints right there next to the cop. You know, like you could just go in with an ID, buy weed cigarettes and
is it this, Randy?
Yeah, I don't remember those two things though. I don't know what those two things are. That's a piece of the building there, I think. They made a fire truck out of. They make a fire truck out of the pieces, or a boat out of the. Yeah, that's what it was. Dude, there's so many interesting things that we saw. We took a boat tour to the Statue of Liberty, and they showed us like one of the docks where the Titanic was supposed to have gone into, but never made it. But the other ship that rescued a bunch of the people did eventually make it there. There's just so many little tidbits, dude. Like,
are you saying those walls aren't there?
I don't remember seeing those walls. What is that Empty Sky Memorial? I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe that's a part I just didn't see. I was definitely there, that area.
Was it people like some coffee?
I'm walking here. The
is this the walkway?
Yes. And there's nothing there. It's just kind of like a park, and it's a pretty big space that they have there dedicated to that. Where I don't remember. I don't know what was there before.
This?
Yeah. In the middle of the financial district. So many crazy stories in New York, man. There's just like so many. The guy, we had an old New Yorker talk like this. It was the tour guide on the boat, and he was telling us stories. And he talked about the miracle in the Hudson, which I had kind of forgotten about that.
And over here, the Titanic was supposed to park.
Yeah, just like that. He was talking just like that. You guys remember the Hudson miracle?
The plane that landed in the Hudson River?
Yeah, that the birds got into like the turbines and shit.
Yeah, I remember. I saw it on the news.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. The guy had to yeah, and there's a mall there, Remo too. It's called the Oculus, I think is the name of the mall there, which is pretty dope. That's right there by the tower and right there by the memorials. Just so much cool shit, dude. Central Park's fucking kind of crazy too, because you're in this like nature. It looks like you're in a different place. You're like in this nature place, and then you look up and there's these skyscrapers all around. It's just
all right, now what about the pizza, bro? That's what I want to know about.
Bro, they had 99-cent pizza.
The whole pie?
No, a slice. Come on, bro.
All right, sorry.
I think the anniversary of the Miracle on the Hudson was just recently too.
I don't know. The tour guide mentioned it. And then we had another funny tour guide. I feel like all those tour guides are
oh shit, I didn't know that you were living there during that time, Remo.
Damn, Remo has lived everywhere.
I forgot what I was just saying. All those. Go ahead.
I said I had a friend I have a friend that he lived in Queens and he saw that he could see the towers falling from Queens. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, it's not that far. Like the skyline is like very visible from the other side of the bridge. I didn't get to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. I wanted to do that, because it's especially cool if you go around sunset, and you're walking in and you're seeing all that architecture
The anniversary's in 2 days.
of 9/11.
No, the
Miracle on the
River
Hudson.
Landing.
All right. Yeah, that was crazy.
I could not imagine living there though.
Oh, I think I would love it, dude. But that's a place to be with single and with a lot of money.
It's very dem though.
Very what?
Dem, left, woke.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course. For sure. It's like the
another reason
not to live there.
live there.
LGBT leaders, for the movement and all that. And
Bum is looking good, Remo said.
the bum's on a weight loss program, dude. We got him.
Jenny Craig.
We might be signing him as an edge rusher this weekend. We don't know. We're gonna see how it goes with the other guy. He's gonna be either rushing that or rushing the buffet. We don't know yet.
Speaking of planes, you guys heard about that Boeing again had another.
I did, dude.
After the Alaska Airlines one?
No, that one.
No, that's the one. That one.
Those peoples have had problems, dude.
Big time.
Normally, people want to sit by the exit, right?
They want to know what your Ozempic dosage is.
No Ozempic for me.
Kim Kardashian.
Strictly eating less and running. That's it.
Running away from food, mostly.
Running away from the Dolphins.
I made some ceviche today.
Ooh, I like that.
I think I've tried that once.
I made it with shrimp and tilapia. I went cheap.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that.
What else can I tell you about New York? The snow was cool.
How's the food?
The pizza. We were talking about the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza was good. I never really.
Did you go to Carmine's?
No, I didn't go to Carmine's. We did go to a couple of Italian joints that were pretty good. And what else did we do?
The pizza. I want to know the hype behind the pizza.
I don't think you need to go to New York for just the pizza. Italian food, yeah, dude.
Like what? What did you have?
I had a chicken parm one day, and I had I did have a cannoli.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
I think I had just like a standard spaghetti and meatballs, but it was just like homemade sauce and everything was like homemade, and it was just really good, man. Really good stuff. Of course, we did the bagel. The bagels are good. It has something to do with the water. I don't know.
Chinatown?
Yeah.
We didn't do Chinese. We went to Chinatown, but we didn't see any dogs around, so we were like, no. I don't know. We want to,
the full experience.
Yeah, we did double Italian.
Did you do the toy store, the FAA shorts thing?
Oh yeah, I mean that was the kids thought we were going there specifically just for the Lego store, FAO, and the slime museum that Nina went to. That was for them. I was like, look, this is the Statue of Liberty. They brought this thing. When are we going to the Lego store? When are we going to the other Lego store? There's 2 Lego stores. You took me yesterday, but I want to go to the other one that you didn't take me to. And it was just okay, here's the fucking 9/11 memorial. Okay, but here's the observatory, and this is all New York. He's like, I think I can see the Lego store from here, and it's right there. We can probably go right now if we go get down. But hopefully they'll appreciate that more later. Maybe they're a little too young. A lot of walking. We did a lot of walking.
That's one thing you do there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I ate pretty good, and I managed to not really gain weight while I was there, which I was
taxi.
surprised. Bruno, that was one of the things Bruno wanted to do: hail a taxi, and he did. He did. I recommend that hop on, hop off bus. That's kind of touristy, but if it's your first time there,
it's almost the best way to do it, man. It takes you everywhere, and it includes a couple different things. We did a skyscraper museum that was pretty cool. It showed you like skyscrapers around the world and kind of the history of how they made them and stuff. And it was pretty cool. But they have a lot of new observatories too. There's one now that's called the Edge. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's like on top of a building in this new area, which is, I think, what do they call it? The docks or something, which is kind of like where the old docks that are not really in use anymore. They've developed that area, and it has like this platform that comes out from the building. See if you can look up a picture of that tank. It's called the Edge Observatory.
I don't think I went to that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty new. We didn't go to that one, and we didn't go to what do they call that one? The High Line is another thing where they got like an old train track that's like above the city, but they made it like a walkway now, and you can walk around there and see a lot of the city.
The last time I was there was 2018, and then before that I was there in 2009.
Look at that shit, dude. It's like a giant balcony.
Hudson Yards.
That's what it's called. Dude, and there's been so much construction since I've been there. Like the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, they used to be prominent. Now they're just kind of like another.
See them.
Yeah, there are another couple buildings there that you have to kind of find them.
Yeah, they're covered up by modern monstrosities.
Do you guys know that the Empire State Building, they nicknamed it the Empty State Building because it took them like 20 years to fill that place? Because I believe it got built like right around the Depression time.
I bet it'd take 1 year today.
There was a plane that ran into that thing too.
Yeah, they took a B-2 and stood.
Was it a terrorist?
No, it was an accident, supposedly.
What about the rats, Randy?
I didn't see a single rat, dude. And I had always seen them there. Because I had lived there for like 3 months one time. And I used to
Was it 3 months?
It was like 3 months, yeah. And I used to see them there all the time.
Big rats, right?
Yeah. Mostly in the subway. But dude, I ran into a lot of angry people too.
Any celebrities? Besides the duck?
No, the duck guy was the most famous guy we ran into.
It was a guy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead before you lose that, because I won't forget the story.
Well, on the topic of rats, there was a guy like maybe a couple years ago that fell into a sinkhole there and got kind of fucked up, and he was in a hole, and like you would think that the thing that scared him the most is that he fell through a hole, but he said that when he was down there, the worst thing about what he was most scared about is the rats that he saw. And he said they were like nothing he's ever seen.
It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Nintendo store, and there was a guy in there with a rat in a baby carriage.
A duck.
I'm sorry, not a rat, a duck. He had like a full-grown duck, and he was filming a video. And at the end, when we were getting ready to leave, he was like filming a video in front of like this big statue they have of Bowser. And like I started kind of filming it because it was kind of crazy thing to see. And he had like a big old Mario plush that was like that big, and he asked Bruno, "Hey, can you rescue him?" And Bruno pulled it out of the guy's mouth. He goes, "Oh, you can have that," and he gave him that, and it was pretty cool. Bruno had like a surreal experience too, because they picked him out of a crowd in Times Square when they were doing like a street performance. These sort of like break dancer acrobatic guys, and they pulled him out and they made him part of the show, and like they flipped over him and all this shit.
White chocolate.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, they nicknamed him White Chocolate. It was pretty funny. I have the video.
Did you see any sexual sex performers?
I'm sorry?
Did you see any like risque or like sexual type performers?
I mean, I tried, bro, but like I was with my family, so I couldn't really.
No, what I mean by that is I
Oh, I'm sorry.
remember when the last time I went, there were like these street performers that were very scantily clad.
No, I didn't see any of that. I remember there used to be that cowboy, but he must be 70 years old by now. You remember the cowboy in his underwear that used to play the guitar?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that one.
Yeah. No, I didn't see anything like that. I mean, I saw a lot of open air weed smoking. For sure.
Yes, I hear that's the biggest since the last time I was there. When anybody tells me they go to New York, that's like the first thing they tell me. Oh my God, everybody's smoking weed out there.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture I took of one of the mascots that they had.
Mascots.
Yeah. That they had promoting their like shop. Let me see if I can find it here.
Wow.
Yeah. They were very aggressive with their marketing.
Did you feel safe?
Generally speaking, yes. What happened around 10 o'clock and we would come back in, I would usually go and pour myself a glass of whiskey and grab a cigar, and I would go for a little walk. And depending on the night and how tired I was, I would venture further out. And then sometimes when I got to the docks one time, I didn't feel in danger, but I felt like if somebody came here, there's probably not too many people around here, and I'm probably going to be fucked here. You know, I did feel that, you know, because when you venture further away from that Times Square area and you go off into the sides and further.
Did you have like liquor in your room and you'd make a drink, or you'd go to a bar?
I did a couple bars. We left the kids in the room a couple times locked up because we couldn't stand it anymore. And we went to like a bar nearby. And then I had a couple liquor stores there, and I would go buy a little thing, and I would pour it in a glass, and I would put it in a coffee cup. And I figured they're walking around with joints. What's the fucking danger in walking around with a little fucking whiskey on this cold night? And you know, I just had a stroll and a drink or two and a cigar because it was nice weather for that. And it was cool, man. I liked it, man. It's hard with little kids because the walking gets to them, you know, but
yep,
I enjoyed it. And the hotel was right there by Madison Square Garden. So it was really centrally located.
The first time I went with the kids, it was 2009. And it was the coldest that it had been in like 10 years there. Sorry. And the kids were still like, you could probably put them when they got tired, you put them in a stroller.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it was 8 degrees.
Oh my God. That's unbearable.
With the wind chill, 8 degrees. And it may have been like, you know, between 20 and 30 degrees.
Yeah, we were mostly in the 40s and then 30s.
A night.
And then the last day we got the snow in the afternoon. You know, we got out of the subway. It was kind of cool because the last day we did Central Park, and then we got on a subway to come back. And when we got out of the subway, it started falling. So we got that on the walk back to the hotel, and then from the hotel to the airport. And that for them was the highlight, you know, to see that, because they had been bothering about that like since they knew what snow was. Probably.
You got any hot dogs from the vendor?
Oh, that last day we got hot dogs. That's what we were on a mission to find, this hot dog stand that they had seen on a YouTube video of this guy who does New York City videos on YouTube, and he was like, "Oh, this guy has the best hot dogs. He's on 93rd Street on West Central Park, which is right next to Central Park." But we got there and he wasn't there. We were like, "Oh my God, we walked 30 minutes to see this guy and his hot dogs." So we got on the subway, we got out, we got the snow, and we got
a few dogs there. We did a double dip. We got a hot dog, and then we did the 99-cent pizza one more time before we went. You just got to have a lot of hot beverages and whiskey. I recommend. The only time I felt really like fuck, this is too cold, was if I had one pair of shoes that weren't like, my feet started getting cold in them, like regular sneakers, and that was kind of, once it starts coming in by one extremity, it just kind of fucking freezes the rest of you. And then another day that I wore pants that were probably too thin. But other than that, bro, I had the fucking long johns, and I was good. There's just
It's
a hassle
funny.
taking off clothes, putting on clothes whenever you go in.
Oh yeah, especially like, I don't know, like there's a couple things. First, the first thing you said about hot liquids, I never drank coffee. The reason I started to drink coffee was when I went to New York. Like, I didn't drink coffee before that, and the time that I went, it was so fucking cold. That's when I started to drink coffee.
Yeah. These guys, Bruno must have chugged like hot chocolate like nonstop all fucking day.
And then the other thing, like when you go to a restaurant, like when it's cold and you go to a restaurant, then it's fucking hot as shit, and you're taking all your shit off. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, one time we did that hop off, hop on bus, but we just took it like for an hour all the way through to our last stop, and like we didn't really undress, so we were like nice and warm in there, and then we got out. Oh my god, everybody was fucking freezing. But you have to take that clothes off when you go in, because then you don't, like, the temperature difference becomes too great from.
Yes. No, you start sweating.
Yeah. So when you get out in the cold, if like it's even more cold, dude. It was just.
And then sometimes, a lot of times, even if you're not sick or anything, because of that, like you'll start, like your nose will start running.
Oh yeah. We were all fucking boogery, dude. Nobody was sick, but yeah, you get the snot shit coming out.
Because of the extreme changes. And then if you leave your clothes also on, then you become the Michelin man, and you can't, like, you're in a restaurant, you go to grab something and you knock the whole table off because you're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like the little kid from Christmas Story.
Yes.
The little brother.
Wrapped up.
Yeah. But I think you need 7 days there. Really, if you really want to see everything. Because we left out quite a few things, Like, I would have liked to have seen a basketball game. I would have liked to go do a tour of the Yankee Stadium. I would have probably liked to have gone, go to Brooklyn, go to Queens. I wanted to go to Coney Island that I've never done.
That I've never seen Coney Island.
Yeah, I would have liked to have done that. There's so many observatories now that you get different views of the city. I probably would have done at least one more. I would have done that High Line thing. We didn't do a Broadway show.
Did you skate in Rockefeller Center?
Not me. I don't skate in any place, but the kids skated in this new rink that they have, like in that financial district, which is right on the water, and they're kind of skating on the backdrop of the Brooklyn side and the tower, where the towers were, and all those new buildings there, which was really cool. But there's a bunch of places to skate now. There's one in Bryant Park. There's the most famous one, the Rockefeller Center one. I wanted to go like to the Apollo Theater. I wanted to go where I used to stay, which was the Upper East Side. We didn't really get to do that. I could be a week there easy, man, and do a bunch of those stuff. You could do as little as much as you want, It just depends what you want to do. You could stay in one little area. You could stay in that Times Square area and just do like Broadway shows and all that stuff. I love that place. I kind of want to go back now. But there's so many other things to do, So many places you can go.
Yep.
Skiing. They want to do skiing now.
My brother just went.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys ever ski?
No.
Sort of. I've inner tubed. I've sort of skied. But not like, like Aspen, you know, with the ski suit and down the slalom.
No fucking Gwyneth Paltrow shit.
No.
Have you ever ice skated?
Yes.
How would you compare those skill sets?
Skiing to
is one easier than the other?
Like I said, I haven't really skied. I mean, for me, ice skating is hard, but
yeah,
I could tell you that every dumbass tells you the same thing. Keep your knees together, regardless of skiing or ice skating.
I did culipatín in Argentina.
I don't know what that is.
That's like a little plastic thing that you like put on your butt, and there's a handle in the front, and like you lift your feet, and then you like slide down the mountain.
Yeah. I've done many things like that, and inner tubing and stuff like that. And I've been to in Tennessee. There's like a park where it's all like artificial snow and ice that you could do skiing. You could do everything, and you know it's cold in Tennessee, so it's not like it's, you know, it feels real, right? But and in Georgia, I did something very similar to that with the kids, and it was a lot of inner tubing, a lot of that what you called that you did in Argentina,
culipatín. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not crazy about the skiing, but whatever. If they want to go, I'll fucking do it. I like the mountains and shit. I probably really would. If I had my way, I'd go do like some shit in Europe. You know, that would probably be high on my list. Things I'd want to do, especially since a lot of those places are kind of close that you could do like a bunch of them, you know, in the same trip. That probably you need 2 weeks to do.
Oh yeah, Europe is 2 weeks minimum. Anytime we've been to Europe, it's always been 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I almost would want to go stay in a little fucking I'd be fine staying a few days, you know, in like one of those old towns.
Well, I'll tell you, if you like New York City, you definitely love London.
I want to go there too. Yeah, but I would like, in my mind's eye, you know, if I want to also relax, I'd want to go stay in one of those little Italian towns or something where like I
did that. That was awesome.
And then
the countryside.
You know, the owner there sits and has a drink with you or whatever, and you're like, it's like feels homey, you know.
Man, I stayed in a place just like that, and you would drive into like a little town and have coffee, and there were like old guys sitting around talking about the old days. I mean, it was really cool.
Or in Spain, you know, it doesn't have to be Italy.
No, Spain is nice too.
Yeah. All right. Did anybody watch the Golden Globes?
I did not watch it, but I read like, you know,
I read a lot about it, yeah.
And then I saw something that caught my attention was one of the movies that I wanted to watch. I haven't seen it yet. Was a movie called The Holdovers.
What is that about?
It's about a college and this grumpy guy, professor that's played by Paul Giamatti. And what happens is that every year in the college, there's a certain amount of kids that don't have a place to go during the winter break, hence the holdovers. And they stay in the college and they got to be entertained and taken care of. And this professor is super grumpy, like, and
he's the one they put in charge of this?
And I haven't seen the movie, but from what I could see, it's that whole dynamic of the super grumpy professor and all these kids, and
who in the end they find his softer side, right?
I haven't seen the movie, but that's probably true. But what was interesting about that is when I was looking through I was interested in seeing that movie, and then I saw that he won for like Best Actor. Paul Giamatti.
Good
And
actor.
I've seen him in other movies. Good actor. I don't like his politics, but he's a good actor.
I don't even know. I don't know anything about his political beliefs.
But then I looked up his Golden Globe speech, and I noticed that he dedicated the win to teachers.
Hmm.
And he mentions that, his parents were teachers. So I look him up in Wikipedia, and sure enough, his fucking dad was president of Yale.
Harvard just fired their president, right?
Yes. But you know what was more interesting that I did not know about his father?
George Bush.
George Bush.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
His dad was
gay.
Was Bart Giamatti,
The baseball.
the baseball commissioner.
Oh, wow.
That exiled Pete Rose.
Wow, what a son of a bitch! I hate this guy.
And died 151 days into his commissionship.
And that's the reason nobody's overturned that shit, because that guy made the rule and then he made the call and then he died.
But think about it. This guy was president of Yale and then major league commissioner.
Yeah, I remember.
And I never knew that was his dad or that was his son.
And it's a very I guess we should have known. It's not a very common name, right?
No.
Wow, that's crazy. I never knew that. Never would have known that either.
Neither did I until, and I've seen this guy in movies before.
Now I'm sure of it. I hate him. Where's that from?
Tombstone, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you, as many good lines as there are in mafia movies, there's as many good lines in cowboy westerns and stuff.
Yes, especially Tombstone. Tank, please tell me you've seen Tombstone.
No, I haven't. I tried. I started it, but I never finished it.
And he looks like he could be a character in Tombstone.
I'm leaving.
He could be Billy Bob Thornton in Tombstone.
Why not Wyatt Earp?
Because look, pull up Billy Bob Thornton in Tombstone.
Or
you see what I mean?
What about
Doc Holliday? I've been sick before.
Nah,
what
you
about
gotta
Curly Bob Brocious?
No, dude, he's got to put on a derby hat and the suspenders and be at the Farrell table. And
what's the name?
Billy Bob Thornton. And his name in the movie is why?
I didn't see you standing there.
Forgot you were there. You may go now. What's his name?
Johnny Taylor. Tyler.
Is that his name? Well, Johnny Tyler, the Madcap.
Is it this guy? I'm sharing it.
Oh, hold up.
Standing by. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is
come
it
on.
the guy? Is it the guy from the bar that gets smacked?
Yes.
No, bro.
No, but come on. Tell me if we don't put your beard and give you that little hat and put that outfit on. Tell me you can't do a cosplay of this guy. I'm not putting the sling. You're not the sling guy.
I wanted you to be Curly Joe Brocious or whatever his name.
Oh,
is.
he's from Bad News Bears.
I'm what you may call the founder of the feast.
He was also in Bad Santa or something.
And that guy
Actually, he's done a lot of movies.
He's done a lot of hot chicks.
Yeah, he was in Monsters Ball.
On screen and off. That guy always gets prime fucking rib.
Is that his real life name, Billy Bob?
Yep, that's his real name.
Let's look up his filmography.
What are some good Western lines, Bum, that you know? Clint Eastwood probably has a ton of them that we're not thinking.
Yes. In The Good and the Bad.
Mr. Woodcock. That's where I know him from.
Mr. Woodcock.
Running back for the Patriots.
Danny Woodcock.
Danny Woodcock. What happened to Joe Theismann, dude?
He's still alive, right?
Yeah, but like not in the public eye, right?
Right. He used to be all across football announcing, and then he just kind of went away.
Like Al Michaels is the last of kind of that era. Shit, Al Michaels was calling games when that guy was playing.
Yeah.
He's outlasted all of them.
I think Theismann's probably a righty. And he may have said a couple things.
Can't do that.
Just like Michelle Tafoya.
Can't do that. Not at ESPN.
Guys, what ended up happening with Michael Irving after that whole shit that he like beat his wife or some shit, and then it ended up being fake?
I never heard about that one. I heard about the issue he had at the hotel, but he came back from that.
I saw like a headline and I didn't click on it to read it, but it was just the other day that said he's being investigated again by the Texas, what do you call it, Attorney General or a district attorney or something.
It's under criminal right here. Let's see.
Yeah. There's always a woman complaining about this guy. That's like his thing.
When is this article from?
1 day ago.
Oh, shit. But, dude, this guy doesn't give a fuck, apparently, about a lot of shit. And it's always just like misconduct, but we're unclear what the misconduct is.
But it always has to do with a woman.
Yes, he's always trying to get laid, I think.
Never a man?
Dude, this guy in his fucking heyday in Dallas, they had a house that they would rent just to go fuck chicks and do coke. That's the kind of fucking players we need on this team.
He's worried about Cowboys versus Packers.
He's not worried about his fucking legal troubles. He's worried about that. The playmaker.
He's with some white chicks right here.
Yeah, dude. Why not?
Let's look at his stats.
Hall of Famer, but I don't think gaudy stats overall for his career. Retired kind of, I guess 33, not that young.
11,000 yards. 65 touchdowns. Wow, I would have thought more.
Let's compare this to Tyreek Hill. I bet Tyreek Hill is approaching those numbers. So Irvin's at almost 800 catches. If my eyesight's not deceiving me.
Yep, 750, almost 12,000 yards.
65 TDs.
65 TDs.
Tyreek will be there next year in the yards and catches and has already surpassed him on the touchdowns. And he's just 29.
11,000.
These are different eras, and their offense was not like a big passing offense.
Wow, you know what? Apparently,
Also, the league was softer back then.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
Softer? Right. Yeah, right.
You know what's apparent though? Apparently, receiving or getting 2,000 yards receiving is very hard.
It's never happened.
Exactly.
I think the only runs have been Tyreek and Megatron. And what did Tyreek finish with? That's not even really.
No. I that's what when I heard all this hype about Tyreek, I thought he was like top 4. I don't think he was even that.
Well, he tailed off and he missed the game towards the end there.
Well, sure, but
he had an extra game though.
Yeah, look. He's not even top 5.
He's top 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Jerry Rice is just a fucking beast, dude.
Yeah,
it was fucking trash.
Pull up his fucking career stats.
He's the only
dude.
one from the 90s, bro. Look at this. That's embarrassing.
Pull up it exactly. In that era wasn't. Yeah, they were already throwing a lot, but nothing like now. Put up his career numbers. Those are just fucking eye popping.
22,000 yards.
Jesus.
Look at the receptions. That's fucking insane, dude. That's 2 Hall of Fame careers.
1,500 catches. And what did he have? 200 touchdowns?
Almost. He probably had it. He probably had a couple rushing touchdowns to get him over 200. Did he have any rushing?
197.
Rushing.
Yeah, there at the end. He had a few.
Where?
Right there. Over. Right there. Back. Right there.
10. So, yeah, over 200. 207.
Jesus.
It's insane.
Just look at the other guys. Calvin Johnson.
Not even close.
Touchdowns.
Half the yards. Not even half the touchdowns. And that's a Hall of Famer, right?
Calvin Johnson is Megatron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, where are his touchdowns?
Right there. You were just on it.
This one?
Yep. 83.
83. God damn, that's embarrassing.
No, that's good, man. That's Hall of Fame quality, but it ain't Jerry Rice quality.
Who would you compare him to in recent years? Nobody.
Nobody.
All right, yeah. Sorry. Why is Tyreek Hill on here twice?
Because these are single season.
Oh,
Yeah.
single season.
What Jerry Rice had was the consistency of every year for a very long time.
Let's see. Oh, dude, almost every season was 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and then
every season was more than 1,000.
No, but I mean, a 4, and then his first season 927. Let's see who amounts to that.
he probably averaged in his heyday like 1,500
a season.
It is truly amazing that as good as Tyreek is, that his real showcase seasons have been with the Dolphins.
because they had nobody else to throw it to.
Was there a rookie receiver with 1,000 yards or no?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think Randy Moss had a pretty crazy one. Antonio Brown was on a tremendous trajectory too.
Yeah, but then fucking got crazy.
I mean, he's been crazy for a while, and look, he had 12,000 yards. Those are Hall of Fame numbers.
Let's see, CD. He's pretty new.
That guy's balling.
I went up against him and DK in fantasy.
Where are his yearly stats?
Oh, CD?
Yeah.
Right here. Yearly right here.
No, those are like game stats.
That's weird. It doesn't have his yearly. Isaac Bruce.
Hall of Fame.
That guy was good.
15,000. 91 touchdowns.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, Jerry Rice was that guy, bro.
There's nobody even close.
66. Yeah, no, nobody.
In a time where it was.
What about Herman Moore?
They used to blast the shit out of you when you fucking run across the middle.
And he was never the fastest receiver. He was he was a good blocker. He was a great route runner. Fucking clutch. Great fucking hands. That guy was the shit, dude. Randy Moss, I don't know if his numbers are there. He had some pretty gaudy numbers too. Is that Randy there?
Yeah, Yeah.
Randy may be
The closest thing.
Yep.
156 and rushing, none.
No, that was not. He did not want to get hit.
15.
Best deep ball receiver in NFL
Is
history.
he?
Yeah.
Is Jerry the one with the most yards?
Yes. I
And
would think.
touchdowns, probably.
Who?
And touchdowns. I don't even think any of the running backs are even.
What about Charlie Hennigan?
Jolly Hennigan.
Charlie Hannigan. He's a wide receiver out of I don't know where.
Get the man a damn picture. He's on the fucking list, dude.
They only had portraits painted by hand then.
Etched in stone. Marvin Harrison probably had some fucking
Oh, he has some good numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Killed a guy.
He killed a guy?
Pretty sure.
By accident.
That's what they say. Outside a nightclub in the wee hours. Yeah, I consider Jerry Rice probably the best football player of all time.
He doesn't have any. Am I spelling it wrong? Contra. Yes.
What's a good list of football stats without a guy who killed a guy?
What?
What's a good list of football players without one of them having killed somebody? Pull up the greatest linebackers in NFL history. You got Ray Lewis. He killed a guy.
Yeah.
How many football players have killed guys?
Yeah, that's the best.
Ray Caruth.
He put a hit on his pregnant girlfriend.
And the kid survived.
Yes. What a fucked up thing that is.
What a piece of shit. Oh, Aaron, we forgot this guy.
Yeah.
Speaking
This
of
guy
piece
is
of
like the
shit.
king, right?
Yeah. Who's that? John McEnroe? Who's that?
Robert Rozier.
Robert Rozier. He was a running back, wasn't he? No.
Yeah, I don't
defensive
remember
end.
him killing somebody.
A defensive end.
Oh, okay.
At least 4 people. He didn't kill anybody.
Jesus.
You were thinking of Mike Rozier, bum.
I guess so.
Tommy Kane killed somebody?
Leonard Linnell, he ran into somebody. That was
Stabbed.
like vehicular, man.
Right here. Stabbed his estranged wife.
Oh my God. I didn't know
Leonard Little.
I didn't know he had a little problem. Leonard.
I think it was with a car, right?
I don't know his story.
Car crash.
Oh, we're forgetting O.J. Simpson, dude.
Well, what about Henry Ruggs?
Oh, yep.
Hey guys,
Cool.
I killed this bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Just like O.J. killed that lady and that guy.
Hey, if it does not fit,
You must have quit.
Yep.
Oh, there is Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, he went to jail for like 50 years for stealing a pack of gum.
this
Randall?
from your era, bum.
I don't know who this is.
I don't even know that name.
Looks like a long time ago.
Indecent exposure.
There's some guy, I don't know who it is, that later kind of got caught up with like gangsters and stuff, and he killed a few people, but I don't think it's any of these guys.
That's John Morant.
Out for the year.
He got hurt?
Yeah. Not with a
Wow.
gun.
That guy is doesn't have great luck, does he?
No.
part of it is because of extremely bad decisions on his part.
Yes.
These are all the players with CTE.
Holy shit. And of course, this is only confirmed after they die, right? Earl Morrall? Oh, I didn't know that.
Where's Antonio Brown?
He's got to die before the.
And the guy who played for Tampa, I forgot his name already.
It's the Dolphins versus the refs. They got no shot. You guys buy into any of that?
I think it's the Dolphins against themselves.
You know, Manny said that.
All right, let's talk about what Remo was talking about, the aliens. He's been asking.
Frank Wainwright? Wow, that guy died?
I don't know. What do you guys know about these Miami aliens?
I didn't even know about them until like last week.
All I know is was like in Bayside and like they shut down the mall and a bunch of cops came and there was some footage.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. What happened?
Oh, look up an article. Let's pull something up. They shut down a mall in Bayside, I believe it was, and there was a bunch of cops there, and then they said it was that some firecrackers had been set off or something like that, and then there was like some grainy footage of like some shadows, and they called them shadow aliens, and then the cops debunked the whole thing pretty quickly.
Damn, I'm surprised I missed that.
Yeah.
Aliens invading Miami are going viral on social media.
This is for real, folks. The conspiracy theory stems from a large police presence at Bayside Marketplace on New Year's Day.
Take a good look at your screen. Are those aliens walking in front of Bayside Marketplace in downtown Miami? Online conspiracy theorists are saying that shadowy figure not far from parked Miami police cars appears to be an alien.
Honestly, I think it looks pretty real to me. Alien look pretty chill.
I'd be friends with an alien. I think it'd be pretty cool.
The viral video was allegedly taken during that massive police presence at Bayside on New Year's Day.
From 500 feet away.
Armed with sticks began fighting. Police say juveniles were also setting off.
You guys want to keep hearing it or?
Yeah, fuck it. How long is this shit? One more minute?
Yeah.
Fireworks that some believed was gunfire, resulting in chaos.
There's a big crowd of people running out of Bayside and kind of grouping up outside. And then we hear more commotion, and now they're all just running through the streets, running between cars, almost getting hit by cars. It was like absolute chaos.
Now, rumors are circulating on social media saying police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens, but rather 8 to 10 feet tall shadow aliens.
But the real question is, are they friendly? Are they after us? Are they going to attack us? Are they going to do world domination on us? Who knows, man?
The phrases Miami Mall and aliens in Miami have been among the top 10 searches on Twitter's trending tab. And Google News even has several reports questioning the event. Miami police saying in part, there were no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. No airports were closed. No power outages. The statement ended with a facepalm emoji.
Now, to read up on the story, and a lot of people are...
And one thing's for sure, there was a lot of cops there.
We can't hear you, bum.
Well, did they ever explain what the shadowy figure walking was in front of the police cars?
No.
From what I had read is that there was just like a shadow from a light projecting somebody else's shadow that was walking in front of the light. What the fuck's a shadow alien anyways? I've never heard that term until now.
No.
You know, I think I had my first UFO encounter or something. Not encounter, but I think I saw something.
Were you anally probed?
No.
Oh, damn.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But
you don't get action. It's not really worth it, but go ahead.
Me and Ashley saw it, so it's not just me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do tell.
It could have been anything, but it was just weird. We were driving up there to where my parents live in Cocoa, and we just
The
saw
old Bonnie and Benny Hill story, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
we just saw something like flash through the clouds, and then it was fast. It couldn't have been a plane, but
Could it
we
have been a
both.
shooting star?
It
You
could
ever
have
seen a
been.
shooting star?
No, I have not.
I mean, it's just kind of like a light that.
No, it was very low. It was like in the clouds. It wasn't in the sky. It was just weird. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I would like to think it was a UFO.
Could have been a
That's it.
drone.
That's it. Nothing else happening. We just saw something zooming through the fucking clouds.
Bum, I'm watching a replay of the Rams Lions from 2021, and they keep showing Chris Spielman. Is that guy still their active GM?
That's a good question. I may have to look that up, Tank.
I am.
If so, they got a real.
I like what they've done with some of their picks, man.
If so, they got a real Miami feel to the hierarchy there, which leads me more to believe they're going to choke tomorrow.
He is the special assistant to the owner of and CEO of the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so he's not GM. He's got another sort of.
Speaking of Miami connections, there's a couple of GM positions open, and the assistant GM of the Saints is up for one of them, who is Jeff Ireland.
Wow. How does that guy?
Exactly.
Assistant to the regional manager.
How's that guy even in football?
I don't know. These people got to have naked pictures of the owners or something.
Then again, it's like in jobs, right? Like sometimes you're not cut out to be the guy, but you could be a guy,
Yep. All right, what else we got? Oh,
those Golden Globes thing. The one thing that I read and I saw the most was people criticizing this Joy. What's his name?
The monologue that he did in the
Boy
Coy.
Making fun of a lot of these. Making fun of Taylor Swift and of the Barbie movie. I think that's true. What I read. This guy from Saturday Night Live was saying, Michael Che, like these people pretend like they want to be made fun of and all that, but like they really don't want anybody making fun of them or making them feel uncomfortable at all. Like the main joke that he caught the most shit for was he said talking about some of the movies we had, Oppenheimer, and then you had Barbie, which is a movie about, what did he say? A doll with big tits or something like that. And they were like, oh my God, that's so offensive. The movie was so empowering for women. I don't know. Was it really that offensive, the joke? Isn't that what they do? Make fun of stuff? Not their job? Some comedians were saying we shouldn't do these fucking shows anymore. We should boycott them. I don't know. I haven't watched one of those shits in so long. The last time those things were relevant was when they fucking slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, right?
Yeah, it was a little while ago.
What did he say?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth. G.I. Joe, G.I. Jane.
But wasn't that like 2 years ago or something?
I'm saying that's the last time like there was a big deal in one of those award shows. Let me see if I'm missing any notes. Oh, by the way, after nearly 40 years of South Korean politicians pledging to end the dog meat industry, The country's parliament voted almost unanimously yesterday to make it illegal to breed, sell, and kill dogs for human consumption. The bill's passage reflects the rapidly changing public sentiment towards the traditional dish in the country. Eating dog meat dates back centuries in South Korea, but younger generations are quickly moving away from it. Only 8% of Koreans in a 2022 survey said they had eaten dog meat in the previous year, compared to 27% in 2015, according to Gallup Korea. Animal rights advocates credit the change in attitude to the growing number of pet dogs in South Korea. That number ballooned to 3 million canines in 2022 from 1.3 million in 2018, according to the country's agricultural ministry. To help ease the tradition, there's a 3-year grace period before the law takes effect, and local governments have made financial promises to businesses that rely on dog meat.
So we can still eat dog meat for
3 more years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have like farms, dude, that they grow them. By the way, that Boeing thing that you talked about, how much you think they paid the people that were on that plane?
$1,500.
That's the price is right. What do we have for him? That's exactly what they offered them. $1,500.
Imagine if they were at 30,000 feet and that would have happened.
That was a hole in the plane. You could have flown out the hole, right?
Yep.
And what plane does anybody go on anymore where there's seats that are empty? I don't even know. Well, apparently where that door blew off, there were like the seats were empty and they were all like torn almost in the direction of the hole. They're like all twisted. Imagine if somebody was sitting there.
I have a feeling somebody was sitting there before the hole, and they're not telling us.
And there was a woman who like her shirt got ripped off and people's cell phones blew away, got sucked out. I mean,
depending on the woman, this could be a good or bad thing. We don't know. We weren't on that flight. Guess there's 300, going back to Hollywood, 300 Hollywood figures signed an open letter to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Scientists, the body behind the Academy Awards, demanding that it immediately add Jews to its inclusion and diversity standards. The upcoming 2024 Oscars are the first year that films being submitted for Best Picture will need to meet the Academy's new criteria designed to better help reflect underrepresented groups on screen. Aren't they always making fun of them that they run the whole business? Isn't that what a lot of people were doing?
Always.
Chappelle was saying that. Or are they underrepresented on the acting and directing side?
I don't think they're underrepresented, dude.
Like who's a famous Jewish director?
Spielberg.
Is Woody Allen Jewish? No, right?
He could be. I don't think so.
Who else? Or are they more on the executive side?
The other Spielberg.
Who's the other Spielberg?
Isn't there? Aren't they brother directors?
I only know Steven.
No. I thought it was two of them.
Oh, Franz Beckenbauer died. Rest in peace. Do you guys know Franz Beckenbauer?
I don't.
German soccer icon. Widely considered one of the greatest players in the history of the game.
No. Not on this
78. Side. One of only 3 men to win the World Cup as both a player and manager.
One of only 3.
Yep. I assume Zidane is another one.
I don't think he's won the World Cup as a manager.
He was not the manager in France?
No.
He's club manager, right?
Club, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know who the other 2 would be. You have any idea?
No.
Maradona had a chance, but he didn't do it.
No. That has to be super old.
I wonder if any Brazilian has done it. Probably.
Yeah, it's a Gallo, which I guess he might be Italian, and Deschamps. Deschamps and Beckenbauer, which I think they're both German.
No, Deschamps is France, right?
Yes.
Bum, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Speaking of skiing and stuff, did you hear about the avalanche in Lake Tahoe?
I heard about an avalanche.
Avalanche Lake Tahoe Resort in California killed one person and injured another on Wednesday morning. The avalanche occurred at the Palisades Tahoe Ski Resort and quickly prompted a search and rescue effort by multiple teams and potential victims. A 66-year-old skier who died and the person who was injured were resort guests, according to Michael Gross, Palisades Tahoe's vice president of mountain operations. This is the worst part. The avalanche occurred in an area that had just opened in the morning and had undergone rigorous, I don't know how fucking rigorous these things were, rigorous avalanche control assessments for several days by teams who also evaluated weather conditions and safety measures. So there's some sort of problem there.
Well, I would say so. And don't avalanche, like, did that happen like really close to the ski resort, or it was way out in the ski trail? You know what I mean?
I mean, they say in the resort.
Exactly. That's like why I wonder.
Yo, shout out to Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat for giving him that big contract after his divorce was finalized.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to them.
The only other wacky thing I have here is, do you guys hear about this thing in Ecuador?
With the people who took over the news?
Yeah, that's just like out of a fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I didn't know Ecuador was descending into that whole, like Mexico, where the drug cartels are pretty much really in control.
Yeah, I don't know. The story says Ecuador's president has declared an internal armed conflict in the country due to extreme violence. The decree came Tuesday after a live television program in the country was interrupted by hooded and armed men. Ecuadorians were stunned as they watched the assailants force staff of the state-owned network onto the floor of the studio as shots and yelling were heard in the background. Ecuador's police later said they had arrested all the armed men. Members of the media outlet had been evacuated and all staff and hostages were alive. The country has been rocked by explosions, police kidnappings, and prison disturbances since a nationwide state of emergency was declared Monday after notorious gang leader Adolfo Fito Macias escaped from prison over the weekend.
And a couple months ago, they assassinated one of the candidates for president just as he gave a speech.
That was Ecuador, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that used to be one of the more stabler kind of South American countries, and now it's descended in complete chaos.
Is there a YouTube video we can watch of that before we go, Tank, of the assailants on television? Hooded and armed assailants on Ecuadorian television? I want to see if it looks scary or silly. It sounds like some Cobra Commander type shit.
That stuff never looks as scary unless it's happening to you.
Right.
Yeah, I think I got it.
All right, let's pull that up.
No, vengan para acá, vengan para acá, vengan para acá. Vengan para acá, vengan para acá.
No, these look like fucking reggaetoneros, bro.
That doesn't look as scary.
Estamos al aire para que sepa que la mafia que no. No, pues te juega con la mafia.
I'll tell you, they probably had good ratings.
You know when it's bad when you can't tell who the police and the gangsters are.
Right. I wasn't sure who was coming out. And nobody got shot. Nobody got killed.
That's suspicious.
All right, guys. Anything else to get off your chestes?
Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins, man. It's been fucking 23 years. Let's fucking do it to it. Let's go fucking win one in the cold.
Get me a playoff win and, maybe next year the AFC Championship. At least maybe if it's incremental improvement, maybe we could endure this.
Would you consider it a success if we have one playoff win?
Well, the only thing you could say is it's a success over last year.
It's an improvement.
It's an incremental improvement.
But would you consider the season a success?
Being that they were at one point, were they ever the 1 seed?
I think at one time they were.
Okay. Being that they were at least the 2 seed for a good part of the season and then barely got into the playoffs, probably not. But technically, it'll be incremental improvement if, they win a playoff game.
I think the only way that they can salvage the season so it doesn't have this stink is you have to win tomorrow and you have to have a good showing the next game. Even if you don't win it, a competitive, not tomorrow, tomorrow's a failure if you lose, for sure. The season's a failure for me if you lose.
Yes.
But if you win and then you have at least a good showing in the next round, maybe you don't win, but you have a good, solid showing, then I think you can say, man, at least, things happened. There was injuries, but you know what? They regrouped. They got it back. They went on the road, which was one of their Achilles heel. They beat the defending champions, and then they went to Baltimore, who had whooped on them, and they were competitive with them. Then you can say, fuck, we did something. We could build off that. At least we could. Hey, maybe I don't feel so bad rolling one more year with this whole scenario with this group. But if they go out and Tuna lays an egg tomorrow, and we get whooped on, it's gonna be fucking rough to get behind this fucking shit next year, bro. Again, we're just gonna roll it out there one more time. Hope what's the definition of insanity?
Repetition.
I don't remember the saying. It's doing the same thing over and expecting a different result or something like that.
Yeah.
It would be insanity.
Well, unfortunately, they're going to have the cover or the shield of the injuries.
No, they're going to be wearing covers.
They may be thinking tomorrow, they may have a what the fuck attitude tomorrow because of that. Hey, whatever happens, if anything happens, it's good. It's a bonus. But
I think they can have that. They can have that feeling next week if they win. But I think tomorrow is a must win to do something.
The season, as of right now, is a disappointment because of where they were and where they've ended up.
Right.
If they lose tomorrow, it will only cap that.
Yes, it would be a fucking bow tie on the fucking stinker disappointment collapse of a season.
If they win, that's all that anybody's going to remember, even if they get killed the next week.
I won't
Maybe
absolve.
not you. I know.
No.
But most people will. Most people say, oh, see, and we were super injured, and we won our first playoff game. Next year's all we got to do is stay healthy, and we're going to be in the AFC Championship game, guaranteed.
Do you really believe that?
I don't, but I think that'll be the prevailing thought.
The general consensus?
Yes, for sure.
Because I go back to, even with those injuries, you had a chance to be the 2 seed.
Absolutely.
Had you beaten the Bills, or if you didn't,
And you have
had you beaten the Titans.
And tomorrow you have the debt. Tomorrow you're 0-0. And you have the ability to wipe away everything negative of previous. It's in your hands. If you can't do it, you're probably never going to do it.
It's going to take they're going to have to really show something tomorrow. They're going to have to show something.
Daniels is going to have to pull every gimmick he knows out of his capri pants.
And you can't hold a lot of stuff in those pants, dude.
No.
I don't think there's even pockets in those fucking.
Not in the 27-degree weather. Negative 27.
He's going to wear, I'd like a colder shirt or whatever.
Maybe he might not be sporting the capris tomorrow. I'll tell you fucking that for sure, dude.
Well, yeah, he may be sporting them under his long johns, his fucking ski pants, and his hot water-cooled pants.
And his "I wish it were colder" T-shirt underneath.
Yeah, that thing will be item number 10 of the layer.
I don't have a good feeling about it.
That's from Star Wars, right? Got a bad feeling about it.
I got a bad feeling about this.
It's a trap.
It could have been hosting the Steelers. That we would have felt.
It should have been. It should have been.
That we would have been like, hey man, we're gonna beat these guys, and hey, next week somebody else is coming down here to play us in our stadium, and then we can make it to the AFC Championship, and then, hey man, you made it to an AFC Championship. That's something, that you can hang your hat on that. You were one step away from the Super Bowl. If you lose that game.
Tank, what year were you born?
96.
In 1992, I went to the last time we went to an AFC Championship against the Buffalo Bills and lost 29-10. 1992.
32 years ago.
I wasn't even my dad's boss side yet.
That's the year they beat the Chargers in like the first round and wild card round,
which we went to.
Yeah, the rain-drenched game.
Yes.
Yeah. Good times. Aaron Craver game, right?
Craver, yes.
Yeah. Good times.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll fucking see what these guys have up their sleeve. All right, fellas.
A lot of layers.
Yeah. A lot of sleeves.